Hello, guys, and we're back for our round 8 tips. We're here with Jono this time with audio.
Hello.
I'm sure you guys heard that well, because if we have to record this again, I'm going to end it all. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, Jono, how was your week? We barely got up. It was pretty rough, hey?
Well, if you come to make money, guys, you come to the right place. So,
Do you guys want to make six whole dollars?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can quit your job and live off $6 a week. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
far out. Very, very rough, but
Yeah,
we'll go through each of the rounds. Otherwise, I mean, the footy was like pretty good. Long weekend, but geez, just could not catch a break on the punt this weekend.
yeah, yeah. Shocking week.
Shocking
Um,
week indeed.
yeah, that's not too bad, but that's part of it. It was good footy in general. I did
Yeah,
enjoy the
there
footy.
were a couple of good games, and look, we'll aim to bounce back. So sometimes you have rough weeks like that. Like no matter how much you do, actually, we could just do this at the top. We usually go through each round one at a time, but I set this up. I might just move Jono and I down a bit because I have this stat I want to talk about. So let's move Jono and I down and bring up straight away the people who missed this week because look, we could go through one at a time, but I just want to emphasize because the week was pretty shit, right? But these are the
Mm,
players who missed. Look at the 9 out of 10s, the 10 out of 10s, the Caleb Daniel and the Cozzy Pickett. Like sometimes you have to back current form, but look, those were the players who let us down this week, and that is just saying something, I reckon. Like you can't predict that. Jai Simpkin 10 out of 10, Ben Keys 10 out of 10, and if they just miss by one posse, that's just tough.
and there a lot, and there's a fair few in there that just missed by one. Bramble missed by one.
Oh,
Durham's
oh
fucking
my god.
murdered by one. Like
Durham on the
five
bench
missed.
for 10 minutes in the last quarter. Like, get him on. He's supposed to be tagging Dacos. What's he doing sitting there?
And we all saw the chat. Me and James, we were reading the comments in the chat. I feel like the rest of the community felt that one.
Yeah,
So
again, thank you guys for the comments. Like, we all. Another thing as well, just to touch on, like, even though the weeks are really shit, I feel bad. It sucks. But also just the positivity, just the, oh, damn, we missed out. Can we catch a break? It's like, we're all on the same page here, and it's just
yeah,
great to uh, win
if you
some together,
did
lose some together.
if you did get up on any of your own bets, or if you had any players that you liked, let us all know because
Yeah,
we'd
see if
love to
there's
hear.
any players that, Jono and I miss. I watched pretty much every game of footy except I had another nap on the Sunday game. I fell asleep through some of the Carlton Geelong, but otherwise everything else is up here for the next day or two before it leaves my memory.
Yeah, well, let us if you know any red flags, let us know them ones as well. That'd be great. Maybe there's something we don't know.
Yeah, maybe a player switching or something. Look, we'll break down all these misses as we go through each team, but I just wanted to put that up there as a graphic because, and I've got the round next to each player's name, but like 8 out of the 9 rounds, we had a player miss for one posse, two posies, a concussion. I think the only genuine stinkers in there were Tom Stewart, but we'll get to him, and Ollie Florent. But
We've
again,
got a
we'll get
lot
to
to say on fucking Tom Stewart. Don't worry.
them. Yeah, so anyway, just I can't get over that as a graphic. Anyway, so I've admired that long enough. Let's get into the first game of the round. Let's put John and I back in the middle and bet one, which was the Melbourne-Richmond game to start off our long weekend on a Thursday night. And Cozzy Pickett missed by 2. And look, if you start the game off on one posse, you are pushing shit uphill the whole way. And like, he played all right, but he kind of just sat back, copped the tag, not the tag, but when he's in half forward, Nathan Broad is just sitting on him. And until he gets pushed up the ground in the midfield, there's not much more he can do. And when he was on one posse at quarter time, I'm surprised he finished on 18. So yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, he did. Like he had the CBA minutes. In fairness, like he was
Yeah.
there. He was there playing. He was going centre bounce, and then they were going. It was going straight forward. So he had the chance to get the touches.
Yeah, Cozzy Pickett's CBAs, they were there. So as John was saying, had the opportunity to get the touches. Like he was still getting 50%, and his CBAs last year were 33%. This year, look, they've spiked. That was 68% 2 weeks ago. 50% I'll definitely take. That's still an increase for last year, but oh, that first quarter was just rough.
I think the role. That's the role now. But he's not. He's not a follow the ball around midfield around the ground. He's centre bounce, and then he goes into the forward line. That's
Yeah,
what he's doing. So if he's not going to get a touch, if he's not getting touches, he's got that brief chance to get the touch then, and then he's going forward. So,
And look,
I don't know.
I thought against like Richmond too, like Melbourne got a pretty convincing win against Freo last week. Richmond, who are not expected to win a game at all, have now, they've won 2. They beat Gold Coast and Carlton, and they gave Melbourne a decent crack. So it's like a half forward, or a forward pocket centre bounce spark player, I thought would have absolutely feasted on a bottom team.
I thought he would have feasted, especially on a Nathan Broad. Fuck.
Fuck you, Nathan Broad. He was all on him. I'm just like, let him play.
Yeah.
I'll just speak on the positives before I'll throw it back to you again. But I was bullish on Jake Bowie, and nothing killed me more than seeing him tear it up again, back-to-back weeks. I know he's been great all year, but he's absolutely shot out like a cannon. And then when Jake Bowie is getting leather poisoning in the half-back line, and Cozzy Pickett's just standing there twiddling his thumbs, cuddling Nathan Broad, that fucking sucked. So it's really annoying to get a good player like that and to have like some other leg fucking let you down. But on the positive, Jake Bowie has looked amazing, even with Stephen May, even with McVee came back, and I thought McVee was going to take a lot of the kickouts. But if I just look at Melbourne's kickouts for the game, Stephen May had 1, Salem had 3, Bowie had 1, and I've said, they actually shared a lot of it. Rivers, McVee, McDonald all had 1. Bowie, I've never relied on his kickouts for posies. Well, last year I did when he was getting 15, but this year he has looked great without kick-ins.
Yeah, I think it'll come up later in the show, but we shouldn't be looking at kick-ins as a guaranteed way to hit the bet, or a guaranteed way to.
I know who you're going to bring that up.
Oh, fucking yeah! Don't worry, it's coming. Stay tuned. But let's look at that as a bonus. And he's, I don't think we're even going to get value anymore. He's just that fucking good now.
Yeah. So. There's someone, I was bullish on Lawson Humphreys for 20 and stuff, but don't want to rely too much on his kickouts because he would have hit every year if he played on, but it's like you can't just hope the player plays on. And anyway, yeah, we'll bring about talk about that later.
The other one, just last one for the Richmond, would be Thompson Dow. He's lost his CBA count. I think it was because Camden McIntosh was rolling around with a tag in there, but he still fucking racked it up.
Thompson Dow, I've been bullish, obviously, we've bet on him every year. Every game this year, and he has looked fantastic. And I've said I think I'm going to bet on him for the 20. But why would you when he's still $1.20 every week in the 15 posi bracket?
And this week he didn't even have this. He lost his CBA count, and he still fucking got it. So.
Thompson Dow, what was his CBA's? 38%. Okay, so
lowest for the year.
Yeah. Oh, he had 29 for the
he had 29.
game,
sorry, back
but,
in round.
Yeah, second lowest. And yeah, you're right. Camden McIntosh did play a bit in them. I was actually bullish on Camden McIntosh for 15, but I think he just missed 12.
He's playing his pinch hits in their ruck now. Weirdly.
I saw that. Yeah, anyway.
I've got no idea why, but yeah.
Otherwise, the other players who hit, Ed Langdon was an absolute freebie. Ed Langdon is like $1.10 for 15, and sometimes when you just want that little extra boost, like I did, some players like that, I'm just very confident. Christian Petrarca as well. His CBAs, look, again, I don't necessarily rely on his CBAs, although they are okay. They were 80%. That was the third time this year they're 80%, where he usually is around 50, and will rotate in the forward line. But yeah, Melbourne need wins. Melbourne need Petrarca on ball. And yeah, Clayton Oliver is not like cutting the mustard. They need someone damaging in the middle.
Melbourne's won their last. They've won 2 in a row. And their coach, I don't know. I think he's just going to stick with what he's got. They'll stick with this CBA mix for a third week in a row.
I think so too. So we'll have to see what Petrarca's paying. We got him over $1.20, which is fantastic. But if we can get that 2 weeks in a row. Someone else I wanted to highlight, Tom Sparrow, not in the bet, but I said in my bet post, I am highlighting Tom Stewart. I did as a yellow because I said I reckon he's keen. He's every chance to hit if he's not doing that stupid, weird, wacky tagging roll that he's done 2 out of 3 weeks. He got 16. He hit. He was like, I can't remember what he was, like $1.70 or something. So he was great value. But yeah, someone who just wanted to pump up my tires there for that pick.
Nice.
Anyone else that you want to mention from this game?
Nah, I think that's all I've got.
Well?
Nah, that's all I've got for those boys. I don't know if you've got anyone else, but no, that's all I've got.
No, other than Nank hit again. He missed against Wits. Was it the week before? But then
Wits is the ruck killer, though. Yeah.
Wits is the ruck killer. So,
this year he seems to have now taken that mantle. But yeah.
Yeah. No, it was last week where I thought he would miss, and then he bounced back. Even against Gawn, like Gawn had a just monster game, and yet Nank still hit. So yeah, very bullish on Nank to bounce back. Second game for the round was the Anzac Day game, Collingwood Essendon. So Jono had his eyeballs glued to the TV screen for this one, as did many of us. And yeah, great game. We spoke about it at the start of the start of the show where Sam Durham was on the bench for 10 minutes. And look, I didn't really want Durham playing that tagging role on Dacos. I don't want to bet on a tagger to get the footy. I want someone to get their own footy, play at stoppages, or play wherever. I don't want them focused on someone else before the footy. And if that's not the case, I think Durham is definitely good for 20. I don't want to put it all to the 10 minutes on the bench in the last quarter because he had every other chance to hit before and around there.
I couldn't believe that they sat him on the bench for that long. I know that the ball wasn't around there, but they've just got to find a way. They've got to take a wingman off to get him back on there.
Oh, it's frustrating. Like you're watching the game and you're just like begging for a goal. You're like, I need a goal. Because even when the ball is down the interchange side of the wing, they don't always do rotations. Look, for a midfielder, they can. It's a bit easier. But Sam, I was surprised as well. Like, I don't know if you really saw the tag coming, but I just didn't even think about it. I'm like, that's what Will Setterfield's there for. He's going to be on Dacos.
They didn't. Oh, so they planned to use it from the start, and then Nick started in the forward line, and then they just went shit, and they threw their whole plan game. They're like, well, fuck it, let's set the game plan on fire and never roll with anything. And fuck it, yeah, Nick ran riot on them. So.
Yeah. So Nick Dacos still, like, I don't know. Yeah, Sam Durham did have an arm on him or a body on him at stoppages, but it's not like a hard tag, not like a wind tag or anything.
And that's what Durham. And I think like we've seen Durham do these, and it doesn't affect his possessions when he does it. Like it's going to happen again this week against North Melbourne. It's either against against Shees or against LDU. It'll happen again, but I don't think it's going to affect his touch count as per se. So.
So we'll go through the good ones. Darcy Cameron. So Jono, that was like, he was so bullish. Jono's lock, like I was too. Versing Goldie, coming off a miss. All the signs are pointing to Cameron. Jono and I were like high-fiving each other thinking he was going to get like 40 posies because he had like 5 in the first 5 minutes or something in the wet.
It was 9 at quarter time. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking done.
And it was drizzling with rain then too, or was it later?
Yeah, and then he's fucking limped to the fucking finish line.
I know, he barely just got there. So
I was never worried about him hitting. He was always going to hit though.
Oh, well, when he's on 9 at quarter time, you're essentially just counting your money then. But then you've got fucking Durham. Anyway. Ned Long, he probably, I thought he could have got more. I didn't realize how much sort of, it's not really, I didn't realize how much his bench time rotation. So his game time was 67%.
Yeah, and I think they're still building his tank, I think.
Which is a good thing, I guess. So if he's still getting 20, it's 67% game time. And just for people who don't really understand game time, that is the lowest for anyone on ground, excluding sub. So the sub might come on. Lockie Sullivan got 31. McStay's off, 52%. He is by far the next lowest, I think, is 76%. So and that is a lot. I don't want to do quick maths live on here, but if I was to do, there's 30-minute quarters, 3 times 4, and then if you're figuring out 67%, so that's 80 minutes. So he's literally losing 40 minutes of game time. That's how much that means. And if he's still hitting 20, I guess it's a little bit worrying, but it's also bullish.
With that, like, I think they're still building his tank, but also I think statistically, I think the calculation for Ned Long, when he is off the ground, Collingwood concede their most goals when he's off.
So they need big Ned Long schlong on the
ground. They need Ned Long on the ground. So I think it's only, like, it might take a couple of weeks, but it's only going to go up. But if he's still hitting 20, like, I know he got 22 in the end. I felt like he was always going to get there.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't worried about Ned Long either. I was worried about maybe Archie Roberts when he started the game. He started quiet and then far out. He was taking kick out. Like, he didn't take many, but he was just so good. So I thought Archie Roberts played a little bit more wing. I didn't realize. I think when I have money on someone, I watch him a lot more, just how much halfback he plays. Not like the distributor, like kind of like a little smaller Andrew McGrath. So he was great.
He's yet to miss, isn't he?
Yet to miss. That's his 10th game of his career. Hit every game. So that was great.
Yeah. Ned Long this week. It's later. We'll talk about that later in the video. But Ned Long against Geelong, he's going to be the biggest boy in there.
Yeah. So, he's going to show Bailey Smith how it's done. Anyway, so for the rest of the game there, I'm pretty happy with how it all went, excluding Durham. Houston had a quiet one. I know you're bullish on him. He got 15.
Yeah,
Was there anything you really
another
noticed?
one of my. I hope no one took my advice to bet on him for Anzac Day. Fuck me, he was shocking. I think he bounces back.
Yeah, okay.
No.
I didn't watch. I didn't have my eye on him that much. Like, it's so funny how much I watch the game, but I'm just kind of got the blinkers on.
Well, I think he. Fortunately, remember we spoke about when Reece McInnes didn't play.
More shut down.
Yeah, no Darcy
actually,
Moore.
so do you want to say that again? Because with no audio, that was
Dan Houston against Western Bulldogs, Reece McInnes went down in the first minute with the injury. First couple of minutes of the game with the injury, and then Dan Houston had to actually play proper defense. Then a week later, they bring Frampton back in. Houston's allowed to run right again. He's doing his thing. Darcy Moore didn't play. Now, I thought they would have gone into that game with a plan to free Dan Houston up. They didn't really have a try and free him up. Now, this week with Darcy Moore back and Frampton playing, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if we'll run with him, but yeah.
I feel like that is a great call, I feel like that is a good bet, or a good guess anyway, because he has had a couple of games. Was it just the one or the two where it was like 15 or below? This being one of them.
He's had a couple now where he's just gone quiet. So
yeah, so we don't want to fully rule him out. Thankfully we didn't bet on him this week, but someone that we are not writing off by any means.
Yeah.
McGrath missed 20. Dylan Shield missed 20 by 1. I'm just looking through some of the notables that I usually bet on.
Dylan Shield did. He's fine. They said he will play, but he did knock up a bit of an injury in that game, I believe. So
okay.
Yeah.
No, good pickup. Sam Durham missed by 1, obviously. Ben Hobbs, what the fuck? You called him like before you went on holiday, I think, and just absolutely just been tearing it up since.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Caldwell back potentially this week, so I think that's the end of Hobbs.
You said he was maybe just doing the training.
Maybe.
He was expected to be round 9, so we're coming up to round 8. Maybe just keep an eye on. But yeah, Jai Caldwell, absolutely loved this season. So if he's fit, healthy, ready to go, he's someone to consider for 20. Nick Martin actually had a stinker. He got 17, and that's the first time he's missed 20. And I don't know how long.
I don't think the wet helped him. He couldn't get his just easy, cheap kicks on the outside. So
yeah, and look, obviously he's not playing that half-back role anymore for the absolute cheapies, but still he makes space, which is what you want for someone who gets a lot of the footy. You want them running up the ground. I'm just having a quick look while we're chatting. He didn't miss 20 all last year. In 2024, he missed a bit in 2023, but that's the first miss in like a year and 7 rounds for Nick Martin. So
yeah,
someone to remember for next week. Anyone else you want to touch on before we go to the next one?
I know still so I bottom obviously we spoke about him pre-game. It lit it up obviously, but we spoke about how the potential sub risk, and it came up again that they were looking like if he wasn't playing so well and looking at getting the Anzac medal, they were going to sub him again. So something to keep an eye on.
He is popping off. How old is he?
34. But I just know I think if he's playing so well, yes, they're going to leave him on. But I think when
you can't expect him to do that week in, week out.
Yeah, and they know that they need to rest him and Pendlebury as much as they can. So
yeah, no, good pick up for that one. I think we can move on to the third game, which was the Freo Adelaide, and we spoke about Cozzy Pickett getting 1 posse in the first quarter. Here we have another culprit, Ben Keys. Came back a little too late. 7 posies in the last. Almost fucking pulled out a miracle. But Luke, whatever he did, Luke Nankervis was not hitting. He was on track at halftime, but Adelaide were just not there for this game. The score is quite flattering. So Freo won by 18 points. But if you look at the worm, Adelaide kicked 4 goals to Freo's nothing. So Adelaide came back, which is why Ben Keys got a lot of the footy. But I feel like I'm not writing off Luke Nankervis. I'm not writing off Ben Keys. I just think Adelaide just took forever to get going.
Adelaide got Carlton this week too, at home.
Ooh, loading up on some of the Adelaide boys. Pile
on the big thriller, even with one fucking finger. honestly, watching this game, I was really impressed with how Fremantle moved the ball. They fucking love to run and gun, and they love to fucking handball chain it. Easy handball, easy touches in that midfield, especially look at Brayshaw, Sarong.
Oh, far out Brayshaw.
They love to
Jesus.
handball together. And even now Shai Bolton's getting in the action. Like, he got
Yep.
22. Fucking smashed.
And Hayden Young, I think he stepped up his game time just a little bit, 75%. He's not going to go up too much more. It might be 80. I think that's what he was doing last year.
Also, spending a lot of time in the forward line. I think they like him as a forward threat. They like a bigger body mid in that forward line. So just to maybe that goes now. Now Jackson's coming back this weekend. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
with
true.
Young. So
yeah, true. So maybe it was a little bit of let's just not fully run you to the ground, Hayden Young. Let's warm you up, and then maybe when Luke Jackson's back, I think Hayden Young could get better minutes, could get more mid minutes. But yeah, just hitting 20 is what we like to see if we can still get him for good value.
They also, just for Jackson, like I don't think we're really going to bet on Jackson, but they did say, especially now that he's playing forward and Sean Darcy's back, but they did say today that they're expecting, like Longmire said, that he's going to let Jackson ruck more than he has in the past when Sean Darcy did in the team. So instead of getting 30% ruck, I reckon he'll be around that 40%, 50%.
Oh, nice. So, well, Jono, this is just so Jono doesn't really bet that much, but the betting market, I swear, for one player doesn't fluctuate as much as it does for Jackson, depending on what Sean Darcy is. Like, he'll be, if Luke Jackson is the sole ruck, he's like $1.10, $1.05 for 15 positives. If Sean Darcy's, well, it depends. People might get suckered in, but he's usually like $1.30 or something. But that's because he's playing forward a lot.
Yeah, I think we won't bet him on him this week, but we'll see what happens with this new ruck role that they're talking about. So
yeah. The other players who hit, Jordan Clark, nothing more to say. Love Jordan Clark. If he misses, it's by like a couple of posies, and maybe Freo just got rolled. Luke Ryan bounced back. Been a bit quiet. 15. He hit in the game where he got subbed off at 3/4 time with a shoulder concern. But yeah, him and Clark together are just ball magnets.
Just with Luke Ryan though. So what did he ended up on 23? Yeah, 10 were kick-ins.
Don't want to rely on it. I know we just said, but man, that is juicy.
Yeah, it is very juicy, but it's also like, shit, he's only getting 13 touches in real play. That's a bit concerning.
Yeah, but I think the difference might be someone who is like known for a lot of kickouts.
Yeah, and it's, as long as he's got a team which, like, gonna kick a lot of points, he's gonna get a lot of touches out of that.
Yeah, so it's someone who, and again, like, I feel like someone like that, a good player that I bring up that I love, just for kicks, Johnny Noble, or someone who's very hungry and will like sprint from the 40-meter line to like, I'll take it, who wants the footy. Luke Ryan might not be that, but he's someone like that who wants to kick in.
He's always going to take the kick. Clark's the only other guy he lets even look at it.
Exactly. And if Clark's kicking, he's calling for it on the 30-meter line.
He's probably getting the touch, so yeah.
Just having a quick look. Anyone you want to bring up?
Matty Crouch.
So Jono, I was texting him like, Jono, you called it, what the fuck? So Matty Crouch was the sub risk and was subbed, so it just, it was a good call by Jono. He got, I think, was it 18 in the end? Didn't hit?
Yeah, it didn't hit. It's just like, I think they've got so many midfielders in that team. They've got the biggest spread of midfielders out of everyone in the league. It's they've got so many mouths to feed, and Matty Crouch is probably the slowest out of all those guys. So I know, interested if he plays this week.
You know what's crazy though? He got 18 posies in 50% game time.
I know.
Like, I don't know. I'm not that balls deep in Adelaide, but I don't know what they see where they just don't play him. Like, he's a genuine ball magnet. I don't know.
I think he's not butchering it. I think it's just the speed. Yeah. If an injury comes into that fucking team though, he's banked.
Stocks invest all, but I don't know. So Matt Crouch, obviously, I love for the footy, no matter what, but it's just out of our hands now, where he's just maybe not going to get the full game time.
Yeah, so look, he's gone 80, 60s, and then the last 2 weeks he's gone 20 CBAs to 46. Like, it's just really dropped off. And they're just like, they're jacking up Peatling, they're jacking up ranking. They want them boys in there. They know they're fast. It seems like everyone wants to have a Cozzy Pickett type, a Soligo type. a Rankin type, a Shai Bolton type in that.
A Cam
just a
Rayner,
centre
someone to just throw in, try and get the footy. Yeah.
Yeah, just for a centre bounce, and then they piss him off to the forward line. And Matt Crouch is literally the opposite of that. So, yeah.
You just reminded me when you said so. Rankin, we didn't include in the bet, missed by one. Someone I'm very bullish on to include. Like I had a big multi-leg, and he was the only one who missed. And it's like,
include this week.
Oh yeah, I would still include this week. Again, someone I'm definitely not writing off, but like I know we just spoke about the misses here just above us here, and like that's not even including everyone. Like we didn't bet on Rankin, he missed. Oh, there's so many players this week who missed by one. Dylan Shield, who I usually like. Josh Worrell in the back line looked amazing, 20 posies, and if he's still over $1.20, love. He was $1.30, I think.
He was probably Adelaide's best, I thought. Too,
yeah.
So.
No, he looked really good. All right, moving on to, oops, I fucked up my tab with the other games, is the doggy, no, that's round
Saints.
8. Sorry, thank you. Saints versus Brisbane. So, again, what the fuck? I was so bullish on Zorko.
Let's start off on the, you're going to start
I want to start off on the positive. I want to start off on the positive because I was fucking banging down that door. I'm like, no, Zorko is still good. None of you guys are listening. Zorko can still hit. Smashed it. Fucking smashed it. I think he hit, I text you, I think, he hit 25, 5 minutes into the third quarter. Yeah. So he was fucking fantastic.
Man with a vengeance.
Yep. And like, again, just because I watched so much of the Lions, I just knew he had excuses for the other misses. Poor performance against Collingwood. But yeah, look, I don't know if he can keep this up, but boy, I felt vindicated.
Who have you guys got this week?
Gold Coast, and it's a Sunday night game because we have the
Sunday
public
night,
holiday.
and it's the
Q Clash. Yeah. So I really like that. And Jono and I were just talking off air. We think, I think Jono just read Kitty Coleman is maybe playing VFL. So I've been hesitant.
You're going to go on Zorko one more time. It's this week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know where I'm going. So, really like Zorko. Looked great. And again, I can't describe a player any better than someone who's hungry, and Zorko is that. He wants the footy, calls for the footy. There was even a play in the game where Jono Brown was like, what's Zorko doing here scheming around the stoppage? Zorko's come up from half back to just play around the stoppage and get a posie. Oh, yeah. God, I love that.
Yeah, loved it too.
About the other goods, Berry and Wilmot. Wilmot, you were never going to get it for that price. I don't know why it was $1.33. He is always $1.10, $1.15 at best, so jumped on him. Jared Berry was a safe one, always hits high teens, sometimes low 20s. Mason Wood, the concussion, and if I'm going to be frank, I don't think he was hitting even when he got concussed. So he actually got concussed. I
think it's like halfway through the third, wasn't it? So
exactly. So 64%, if he still played the full game, he's not hitting, and he was playing a lot more high half forward than I would like. I thought he was going to play majority wing. But Darcy Wilson, Bradley Hill, I think there was someone else as well who took a lot of the wing. But I thought that was Mason Wood's spot. So just maybe someone to be cautious on. Yeah,
they did chuck a lot of the wing. I don't know if that happened after the injury, but a lot of guys got touches on, got moved onto that wing for the Saints this weekend, which is random.
Well, because I was watching a lot of it, and I'm just like, where the fuck is Wood? Why is he? Because when Saints will kick it out from half back, or I'm expecting him to be a marking target up there, and he just wasn't there. And at CBAs, I'm like, why am I seeing number 22 here? Where is Mason Wood? Yeah. So, someone to watch out for.
Yeah, the other one though for me is like Wangan and Miller. A lot of time in that. I don't know if this was fuck it, we've already lost the game, just chuck him in there. But fuck, he spent a lot of time.
So
at the end.
Yeah, again from watching that game, I think that was a
fuck it.
No, not even quite a fuck it. I think it was like a almost like maybe it was, but like a punishment almost, because Wangan Miller was getting a lot of touches, but he wasn't being that damaging. And you notice Ross Lyon subbed out Hugo Garcia. He's like, because Wangan Miller played a little bit up forward as well. I think he even took a forward. Did he kick a goal? Anyway, he played a bit.
He
half
did kick
forward.
a goal. Had 2 shots a goal.
Yeah, there you go. And look, you might have it off the top of your head, but I can quickly look here. His CBAs for that game were Wangan Miller 56%.
Yeah, his highest maybe of all time. I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe it is a bit of a fuck it, but I thought it was just a. I don't know, you're not damaging, get up.
By far, it's his highest ever.
Yeah, highest ever. And the only reason I say it, I don't know, because he usually just absolutely tears it to shreds from the half back line. So to see him get so much of the footy, 32 posies, 70% game time as well.
It's interesting though. The one like this is I don't know if we can predict this is gonna. I don't think this is gonna happen straight off the bat again this week. But Bradley Hill racked it up as soon as they put Bradley Hill into the Wanganeen Miller role, and he just got junk time touches back there.
This game was very weird for, like, I know Mason Wood maybe plays more on the wing. Maybe Wanganeen Miller doesn't have forward time. But yeah, Bradley Hill, who I thought this was not in his system, like 33 posies, what the hell? That's crazy. So yeah, that was an absolute great pickup. The only thing is, like, when you look on fan footy, there are so many of those like switch symbols, like role changes.
Yeah.
This game is almost like an anomaly, and you don't want to
I think. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. I think Ross is just using it. He used that last quarter because the game was gone. Let's see what works. What can we do? Can we try Wanganeen?
He used the second quarter to just Hugo Garcia.
He fucking I don't think we're going to see Hugo Garcia for a while, guys. He might be brutal. He was a great bet. I can't remember what round it was.
Jono called him 2 rounds ago, or 3, or whatever it was.
Yeah, what it was when the Jack Steele out. Yeah, that was great. I don't think we're going to get that chance ever again. I don't think he'll be gone for a while, especially with Philippou coming back. The last one for me though, if Jack Sinclair's not going to get tagged, he's getting 20. He's getting 25. So.
Yes, Jack Sinclair.
If he's not getting tagged, he's getting his 25.
Wait, sorry, did you say Sinclair or Steele?
Okay. So, Sinclair.
Sinclair, yeah. No, I agree with you there. Another one I want to bring up, one that I might not bet on.
Say Jack Sinclair. Sorry, Jack McRae. Jack
McRae. Yeah. So I think I misheard you. There's Jack Steele, Jack Sinclair, Jack McRae. There was another Jack Higgins. Yeah.
But no, Jack McRae. I think we said it on the way, with my mic when it cut out. But yeah, Jack McRae. We're like, if he's not getting tagged, he's getting his touches.
Yeah, exactly. Jack McRae, 26 posies, and that was a quiet game for Jack McRae standards. So
they're not damaging, and they're not going to be damaging, and that's what he is. Like, he's just going to get his easy touches.
I highlighted Charlie Cameron for a goal scorer. He missed his last 2, and he kicked 4 behinds, and he had an absolute quiet one. He was even playing up the ground a little bit more. He got the ball on like the defensive 50. Yes, he had 4 scoring shots, but if he's paying like a decent amount, Charlie Cameron's not missing for a month straight, surely. No way.
Well,
there might be no Kyle Oman again.
This is the worst form we've ever seen Charlie in.
Yeah.
Now, if against a guy in a Q clash at the
big
Gabba,
Q clash, Country Road is playing. Instead of 4 behinds, he's kicking 4 sausages. I'm very keen.
If he's paying decent, if it's anything less than $1.20, then no, or $1.30, I'll probably not go on there. But
$1.30 I'll take straight away. I think if it's hard though, because Brisbane goal scorers usually they don't.
He's
going to
get Bodie Hewland though. And Bodie Hewland is a bit of a loves
maybe
to
Will
shut
Powell,
down.
or you reckon Bodie Hewland?
Or could get Will Powell.
Yeah, either way.
Both two can do a really good job on players.
That is a very good pickup. Yeah, that's a bit of a risk reward. We'll reassess that when the game gets closer.
Say the odds first.
Yeah, exactly. Fletcher, I just want to highlight again. When I was watching that game, when the game started early, right? Zorko had 6 posies. I think it was 6 in the first quarter. When I was watching that, I was almost about to take a note. I think Fletcher is damaging Zorko's posies. Because just remember, when Zorko's missed, that's when Fletcher, who's always played wing his whole career, he's gone playing a halfback role. So he's been getting like 20, high teens posies. So someone to really watch out for. I haven't been that keen to bet on him when he's too short, but
I think he dies though next week.
Oh yeah, that is true when Coleman comes back, because we'll see. He's definitely stepped up his posie count. So
there's definitely not enough room for Zorko, him, and Coleman. Maybe Coleman gets started on the wing
as well.
And Wilmot. Maybe they start Coleman on the wing to ease him into it. A couple of sub games, kind of thing.
But, very true. Otherwise, I think I'm good for this game. Lockie Neal, Will Ashcroft gets 13 posies and then 35. Jesus, insane.
He's a good player. He's always going to fucking respond, isn't he? So.
Yeah. No, exactly. Anyone else you want to mention?
That's probably about it for me for that game. Don't think we can take too much out of the Saints.
Exactly. It was too much. Just fucking As Jono said, move the magnets around.
One lock I'll say is Hugo Garcia is playing 2s this week. So.
Yeah, bet on him for 20 touches in the 2s.
Yeah, best on in the fucking VFL.
All right, the Port North game. Man, So another one, like, just what frustrates me about these misses is getting someone who bounces back. We got Zorko who bounced back. Then we get Cherry, and then Jai Simpkin, who's 10 out of 10. I'm going to show this graphic again because I do freaking love it. Jai Simpkin, 10 out of 10, $1.32, averaging 24 and a half posies. Like, man, that sucks. So to have him miss. Caleb Daniel too. You know what's funny? Before you go. Caleb Daniel, I think he got a 24 to start the year. 31, 33, 25, 32, and or 24, slight miss. I thought he was going to bounce back. As soon as we bet on him, he was quiet. That 22 is generous. Like, he was going to, yeah.
Yeah, our thought process going into that was that he was like, they dropped half their fucking defense. Like,
no Cord, no Wilson, no Logue. Like, how? Oh, that's crazy. I just want to look at
and Darcy Tucker didn't register possession. Isn't that like a record? Wasn't it a record for?
So everyone's kind of memeing on him a little bit. I just want to give him. So he was trying to play a very hard shutdown role on Connor Rose, and even though he popped off, Darcy Tucker got, as you said, no posies, 3 tackles.
But that's another guy in defense who didn't touch the ball.
Yeah. That just boosts the Caleb Daniel argument. Like, fuck, just. Oh, very annoying. So Caleb Daniel had 8 kickouts, played on from all 8. So as Jono was saying, like, he's getting 14 touches around the ground. Is that enough for someone we're paying for 25 plus? No. Yeah.
Is that 2 weeks in a row? He's hit every week, hasn't he?
He missed first week and then he missed last week, and so I was bullish on a bounce back.
So he's missed 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, but I thought this was just going to be no Fisher. There's no one to take his cheap posies, and yeah, just. Really unfortunate. And North played okay too.
Do we roll the dice in Essendon?
You bet you we do.
I don't know.
I don't want to rule him off. You also got to think of it as well, like, you don't want to get blinded by everything else hitting and looking good and then, fuck this, you know. You also got to put it down to, like, look, if there's another 2 minutes, like, he could easily hit. Or if Harry Sheasel didn't take 4 kickouts, he could have hit. So, yeah, Jai Simpkin, look, 19, started out pretty slow too. Again, from the top of my head, he was maybe on like 7 at halftime, if I had to guess, and came back relatively strong. So again, someone I don't want to write off, but I'd back. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, Tom Powell, we spoke about it on the last week. Yeah, his CBA minutes are gone.
And he just missed by 1 because I had an eye on him too. So
so I don't know. I think until we see that, I think George Wardlaw's killed him.
I think you're right there. But funnily enough, hasn't killed Luke Parker. I thought Luke Parker was the first in line to go.
Yeah, I would have thought you would invest in the youth, but no.
No, Luke Parker.
Tom Powell.
Oh, 27 posies, a goal, 80% mid-time, and his CBAs are still relatively strong. If I go to Luke Parker, 71%.
It's gone up since Wardlaw came back.
Like, you are... Okay, look, I get you want to have a mature body in there, but I'm like, maybe for like a month or two. Like, we're going into round 8, which is, 2 months of footy. But yeah, I just would have thought Wardlaw was just kicking out the old boy.
And if this is a really good chance for Clarko to get a win, Clarko needs to get the pressure. Like, people are like, I don't think it's right, the pressure that
they're versing next week, sorry? Was it?
They're versing Essendon.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night blockbuster. I think this is a really big chance for them to get a win. I think Clarko's going to go with whatever's best, and I think Parker's best right now.
Parker is in best form. I just wanted to correct myself. Yeah, Simpkin had 2 posies in the first quarter, then 6, then 5, then 6. So it's one of those things where it's like, just man, like, I would much rather take a hot start and someone like Darcy Cameron, 9 posies in the first quarter. You can chill, you can kick back, just a little posie here and there. I hate playing catch up, so very annoying.
Cherry. We had him for a lock for 15, I think, this week.
Smashed
it. And this week he's gonna kill
Old boy Goldie.
Like, we said that Darcy Cameron was guaranteed at 15, but Darcy Cameron's not that nasty, hurt your ruckman. I think Cherry is.
Yeah. And you never know. Goldie might want to come out and just smash his old team. So.
Oh, you never know. Yeah. Well, Cherry's like, I know, I've been playing underneath Goldie for years. He's gonna fucking want to show him. So I think Cherry. If there's any value in the 15, we're going there. So,
very good call. Anyone else? I'm just quickly looking through the list that I want to touch on. Anyone else who was relatively close? Luke McDonald, another player that has missed like 3 weeks in a row. That I said I was not bullish on. His numbers were very inflated from the back end of last year, and it's proving the point.
Connor Rosie, the backline role is real.
Oh,
It's not.
real.
Yeah, it is
Real.
real.
Not only is he getting it, looks way more confident.
Yeah, and maybe like in All Australian backline form right now. I don't know. Like
Jeez.
it's.
Can't believe
Yeah,
this role wasn't made sooner. Like this switch.
yeah. Well, and apparently, like that's all the everyone said is that this is what he played as a junior. This is what he was always knew how to do. So, and they've always had a surplus of midfielders. Well, now they've got probably one of the best halfbacks in the league now too. So,
Yeah, very much agree.
I think we spoke about Willem Drew last week about hitting. What did he get? He got 15.
He got like a 9 the week before, and so he bounced. No, Willem Drew, sorry, got a 17 this week, bounced back.
Yeah, so that's good.
Someone I want to highlight that we didn't bet on this week, but so we've been betting on this player for $1.50. As soon as they've shortened, we've avoided Miles Bergman. Miles Bergman has been $1.50, and as soon as he came down to $1.11, he got injured. But then he was $1.15. He plopped out like he missed last week, and then this week 11 posies. So
11.
He's missing when he's his shortest price, and thank God we take that into consideration because you also want value for money and stuff. So yeah, just very quiet these last 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I don't think I've got too much on that one. Yeah, like Georgie Wardlaw looks like legit too, but yeah.
Yeah, in the 20s too. I think I'm going to start betting on Georgie for 20. I was going to go 15, but far out. 2 games to start the year, 21 and 20. Great.
Well, yeah. This will be. I think they can feast this week on that Essendon midfield too. So
yeah, and just put George Wardlaw 63% game time. That's just gonna keep going up. So
once he gets that fitness back, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next game was the GWS Doggies game. Another fucker who got missed by 1 posie, but again, we're not going to write off Lockie Bramall, just very unlucky. Oh, so much for me hitting this one, and then just to have him missed by 1 posie, fucking stings.
One thing I noticed with Bramble was watching this game, I watched this entire game. Bramble is a really close to home. Like he's not going outside defensive 50 really that much. And like
there's not much need for him when there's Dale and stuff doing that.
Exactly right. And Williams is around there and stuff like that. And so unfortunately for us, Dogs just beat the shit out of GWS. So he didn't get to have to do anything really. And that really killed us. And it wasn't like only in that second quarter is when he got most of his touches when the ball actually came in. So,
yeah, exactly. That is a great point. And it's like when your bet is so close and your player who needs to hit, whatever position they are, forward line, back line, mid, or okay, let's say forward line or back line. You are barracking. So a lot of people in my position, we're all barracking for GWS. Get a clearance, please win the ball. And then you've just got Bont doing godlike things. You got Libber in there still tearing it up. And then Joel Frazier just fucking, oh my God. You just, please, Giants, just kick it in 50. So
yeah, exactly. Bont didn't fucking matter where you can play him forward, play him back, play him as a sub, he's still going to hit. So it doesn't matter. One thing we're like, oh, I don't know, but he got 20. Well, he got 22, but he's not going to matter where he plays. His CBA numbers are down, but I think that's only because he was a sub. But yeah.
Yeah, he got subbed. Was it in the 4th or 3rd? I don't know if you.
So 3/4 time they subbed him.
Wow.
Tactical. 62%. Purely tactical.
Yeah. 128% super coach points, mind you, in 3/4 of footy, 22 touches, not even a goal. God, his touches are godly.
Liberatore has taken a hit in the CBA minutes, but it hasn't affected him.
Sorry, just a quick thing. So his dream team was 79. His super coach was 128. What the God? That is what his touches are so damaging.
Oh, just a beast in there.
Absolute beast.
Lockie Ash, he's quite legit.
Yep, but I think I'm just going to watch him pop off because he has not only gone from... So Lockie Ash, you could just squeeze in the 15. You could usually get him for like $1.50 in the 20 posie bracket. He's not only shortened in the 20, he has jumped the whole bracket. And I would much rather bet on someone who's sort of come down a bracket, like an LDU or a Colby McKercher. It's very hard for me to sort of jump on someone who's just shot up so much. It's so I'm someone to happy watch, let him tear it up, but I just can't. It's too much of a jump for me.
Last one as well, like we were big on the taggers a couple of weeks ago, talking about our tagger list. Another tagger kind of fucking got put to the sword again this week. Bedford just made look like a pleb. by Bont. So
well, Bont is just like literally twice his size in every way. Like he is a man-child. So
yeah, I can't believe they tagged. I would have thought they would have tagged Richards, but they went after Bont and they got shown up.
you'd have to go to Richards because it's more body for body at that. You'd almost like, okay, Bont is going to kill us. Let's at least try and nullify Richards. No, Richards is still tearing it up. Bont's tearing it up. Stop one.
They went for Bont and they got fucking stung. So I don't know what they were thinking. Didn't notice.
While you're looking, I've got 2 more points I want to hit. Jacob, I think it's Ware. So he looks like a smaller Harry Himmelberg, and not in the gameplay sense. I mean, literally on the field, they look very similar. And he is very good at sweeping around, handball receives. I don't think he even took a kick out. I'm going to have a quick look now. GWS, no, not 1 kick out. Love that. 20 posies, not 1 kick out. He has hit every game this year where he hasn't been sub. So someone I really, really like. And the second one I want to touch on, Jesse Hogan kicked 2 goals in what I think was a pretty average game for his standards and GWS. So if he's kicking 2, I'm pretty sure he was 10 out of 10 for 2 goals. I'm very tempted to look at him for 3 next week because Coleman medalist, I never like betting on multiple goal scorers unless it's someone of like this caliber, you know, Hogan, Thilthorpe, sometimes Kerno, but someone to watch for next week.
One other, Jake Stringer, Jesus, maybe he's in the Tom Stewart category. Like, he might be dead.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just someone I would just avoid. Like, look, you'd have to really twist my arm and give me like $1.40 for him for a goal, but I'm not taking that.
He's
anything shorter.
He's really just dropped off the face. One, not probably too betting relevant, really. Maybe interesting to see what happens, but Briggs, really out of form. Like horribly out of form. I reckon there's talk, like there even talk like maybe GWS tried a 2 ruck system.
Bring in Prusy.
No, not Prusy. Prusy's playing VFL. I think they've got another kid in there.
Oh, you're not talking about Lockie Keefe or?
No, they've got another kid that hasn't debuted yet that they've got big props on that apparently is an absolute mountain. But there's talk that maybe Briggs gets dropped for him or maybe they roll with a 2 ruck system because Briggs is getting feasted on and they've even like he's for a ruckman, if you're a sole ruckman, you're looking at like 80% CBAs. He's rocking at like 60%.
That is very odd.
Horrible.
And you do, sorry, I got something in my eye. You do mention, so Kieran Briggs, I've liked for 15 posies in the past. Obviously this year I just haven't even considered, but it's a good note to pick up on that someone who's very out of form. And from my videos last year, I had liked him, but steering clear of at the moment. Yeah,
I think there's a potential that. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they have to mix something up because they got beaten the shit out of on the weekend. So I'm not sure what they'll do, but wouldn't be surprised if they drop him or they switch it up and bring an extra ruck in or I don't know.
So. We also got the Rory Lobb call, right, where he played back a lot, forward a lot. He usually plays back and he played forward, kicked 2 goals. Someone who I was not expecting the forward line, Buku Karmas. So, I mean, I didn't realize I'd clear everyone out because obviously there's no Sam Darcy. And then the kid, Bussinger.
He looked really good. He's not really going to be touch relevant, but geez, he looked really, really good. So
no, but
I just don't think Jones is coming back just yet.
Yeah, no, he's definitely holding his spot. Just in terms of like, I don't know, look, whatever they're paying, I'll have a look. I'm not advocating, but like if Buku Karmas is like fucking $3 to kick a goal and he played forward like the whole time, that's crazy. Or same with Rory Lobb. So
yeah, like that was I didn't think both of them, dropping Jones and then we're also going to play our other 2 tall defenders forward on top of that. Fuck me. Just shows you Bevo for you. They've got Port this week who don't really have huge forwards. I don't know, I could definitely see them both playing forward again.
Yeah, so that could be an interesting one. Last thing to just move on, Bailey Dale just hit, but the mids feasted. English got 23, ruck, but Kennedy, Fraser, Richards, Libba, Riley Sanders also hit 20. Like, Jesus, just far out. A disposal feast for the doggies.
One other one, though, for the dogs, which we'll talk about later in the next part of the video, would be Trelaw.
Next week?
Well, they reckon this week is the word.
Oh, sorry, this week, yeah.
There's a lot of talk that I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, he's a test for this week, and they're pretty confident he'll get up. So another reason I'd almost steer clear. It's a risky fucking dog. The Dogs are risk again. It's like we don't know what's going to happen.
And it's also just someone who's maybe in really good form, like Ed Richards, or I feel like maybe they can still get their posies. Again, it's if he's playing
Lib is the one I'm like, you're going to get it because you're just a hard nut.
Yep.
Bont is another reason to even play him forward more. Like, we don't need you anymore.
Well, when Bont, Libba, Treloar, Richards, they were all playing the mid. Bont, oh my God. Libba was the one who was getting like just around 20, just over 20. So he is obviously shot out of the blocks this year with no Bont and Treloar. As John was saying, I think, he is the one that sort of comes down a bit to what he was averaging last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. All right, the Sunday game, the Gold Coast Sydney game. So
great game.
This was actually a really great game, but I tapped out, I think, like a little bit through the third quarter when the other Geelong game started, because I'm like, well, this bet is fucked because Florent is allergic to the footy. So very.
That was probably the only one. Was that the only one we legit we lost? We
legit lost. And again, just to show the graphic again, Ollie Florent, you can see there, number 7, 9 out of 10, $1.20. He was the shortest leg there out of our misses this week, and he just fucking ate poo. He averaged 20 posies in his last 3 games. Oh my God.
Especially, I didn't get that one because Blakey spent a lot of time forward because they were fucking panicking. Like, Florent, what the fuck are you doing? Pull your finger out.
So he played a little bit on the wing, but then when he was playing just a leisurely, boring half-back role, I think he's just letting Blakey do his thing, Riley Bice do his thing. I'm like, just come on, step up. Last thing just with this stat. So he is now, he was 9 out of 10. He is now, I think, 2 out of 7 because they've played 7 games? 7 games. He's missed twice this year. You know how much he missed last year? Also twice. So does that mean Ollie Florent is going to not miss for the rest of the year?
Double down and bet it all on him this week.
Anyway, that's my little Ollie Florent rage out of the way. I'll just quickly go through the hits and I'll pass it back to you. Justin McInerney, what the fuck? Please don't ever score 29 again because his value is just gone down the toilet. In a good way, he had a good game. Johnny Noble, the hungriest of the backline players there. Yes, Dan Rioli bounced back and had a good game, but I think that was... Jono might talk on that later. Isaac Heaney started out great, quiet last quarter. Took Miller actually had me a little bit worried, and Jake Lloyd got a lot of it. So anyone you want to touch on?
Yeah, so just with the Rolly, I think Rolly's good for this week. Like, I think there's value there. I don't know what you think. What did we have him there before?
Rioli's in the 20 posi bracket. Obviously, I didn't bet on him this week, but against it's the Q Clash. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think he was on 1 touch at quarter time or 2 touches, and he still got.
He was on no touches, I think, for the first 16 minutes of that game. His first touch was a cheapy kick out, and he told Noble to fuck off. I'm taking it. So The thing is, if a player misses, I'm happy to jump on him the week after. If a player misses and then misses the following week and their body language is worse, I'm not keen. And that's what happened to Rioli. So he missed, and then he missed even worse against his old club and just had a stinker. So, and then he was on the same track until I think about halftime. So he popped off after halftime.
And I reckon it was Hardwick fucking put it to him.
Yeah, so I don't want to rely on someone just having the coach just kick it up his butt.
That's true. Yeah.
But again, but this is why it's so great having this conversation because, Jono sees something in him, reckons he can bounce back for the Gold Coast game. Me, I'm still a bit hesitant, but someone that I'll be watching for. But again, it just depends, when the odds come out, what they're worth and reassess then.
I like Matt Rao to bounce back.
He
had a stinker.
Yeah, Matt Rao had a stinker maybe 3 weeks ago now, and I think we're just going to have to take this with Matt Rao this year. Matt Rao, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, he got 17 in his last stinker, and he got 16 in the week gone. Matt Rao has flashes like this where he plays his last year, the year before, where he is a high teens posi player. He's shot out to 25. He just needs a little bit more consistency.
He had probably the worst quarter of footy he's had in a long time too. He was making some big mistakes. The only thing would worry me with the Q, unfortunately, he's got Brisbane. They can throw Berry at him. They can throw Dunkley at him. Dunkley's a perfect.
Well, just remember that, Matty Rowell is not Nick Dacos. They threw both of them at Dacos. Dacos still got 35, 40 touches.
Yeah, but Dunks is big and like Matt Rowell's not exactly lightning pace. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy, but is he going to bully Dunks? Like I feel like Dunkley's the big boy of the league.
No, I think that is a really good call. Just interesting about his posies, right? So obviously Gold Coast just fucking lit it up from halftime onwards. They stormed home with it, and I didn't actually get to see a lot of their run home because I fucking gave up on Florida and watched the Geelong game. But yeah, as Jono was saying, Matty Rao's quiet start. 4 posies, 3 posies. He's on 7 at halftime. 7. And that's someone at this stage in the year and their career you're wanting to bet on for 25. It's just like, yes, you need someone in the double digits at halftime by then at least.
Yeah. Ruck Killer, Wits, he got another one. He got Grundy, got him Cole. 9 touches.
Good pickup, actually. Yeah, Grundy's actually been on really good form as well recently. So
yeah.
He is the Ruck Killer.
Yeah, he just absolutely feasted. So yeah, Wits, fucking Ruck Killer. Strikes again.
We spoke about this, but again, Jono had no audio. So James Jordan, usually a really good, notorious hard tagger, limits the other midfield. Yes, Noah Anderson still got 21. Like, I feel like a lot of Gold Coast mids were down a little bit. I think James Jordan tag 1 is not that strong. And like 2, he's been getting his own footy to kind of hold his own spot, but he got 11 posies. So if he's not really having a strong tag and not getting his own posies, it's worrying on both ends.
Yeah, and he did kick a goal, but he's only kicked 1 goal this year. So I'm like, okay, so if you're in the forward line and you're not really touching it, you're not really playing midfield, and you're only kicking 1 goal for the season, and you tag he's in the team to tag. That's in my opinion. And if his tags aren't working, he didn't really nullify Noah Anderson that well.
No, and I don't like. I mean, he might have nullified Neil a bit in the first round, but I feel like a lot of the other players, like I think LDU hit. There was someone else top of my head, Connor Rose, who he tagged the other week. He still hit. So Jordan, I was kind of like, all right, if you're not going to stop the other opposition, he's getting 15 posies. He didn't this week, so but again, it's 1 week so of him missing. So I think
interesting for teams Thursday night. I think he's a drop risk. I think they got GWS this week. I think he did a really, really good job on Whitfield. Last time they played.
Yeah. So he didn't do a green or
no, they went after Whitfield. So Dean Cox is just going to follow the Longmire playbook because he doesn't know how to coach himself. But I feel like he's just going to roll out. They'll go after Whitfield.
I heard a couple of Sydney fans just very frustrated, like on talkback and stuff, like literally given a runner-up, grand final playing team, and just I know he's had injuries, some of it's out of his hand. No Goulden, no Mills.
They're the most injured team in the league.
Yeah, so there is a bit of an out there, but yeah, I can definitely feel the frustration where you make the grand final the year before, and I don't even know what they're sitting on the ladder off the top of my head, but
they've got the Battle of the Bridge. So we've got the Q Clash and we've got the Battle of the Bridge this week. Interesting if Jordan can get his tag, and if his tag doesn't nullify work this week, then fuck it. I don't know what his spot is anymore.
Yeah,
I'd stay away from Whitfield though. In fairness.
Yeah, no, another good call. Whitfield, I've never been that bullish on for 25 purely because he doesn't pay that well. If he started paying decent odds, I'd jump on him. But yeah, good pickup. Anyone else from this Suns Sydney game you want to go through?
No, I don't think so.
Actually, one more. So Bodie Euland hit, and I've said I like Euland. In order. This is my preference. Noble, probably Joel Jeffrey, but he actually missed. So I liked what I saw early. He's had 2 misses in a row, 13 and 14. We might have to rotate second place. Then I liked Euland. I liked Rioli, but he's dropped way down. Then I'll say Will Powell, then Rioli. But the point is, that's a big chunk of players who just are trying to get the ball on the half-back line now.
Well, one of what we spoke about is one of Will Powell, Bodie will get Charlie this week.
Oh, yep. Another good pick.
Yeah. And I think they're not going to be... That's not going to be go get the ball when you can. That's going to be pure you sit on him and shut him down.
I can't remember if we said this off camera or on camera, but I was like, Charlie Cameron's not missing for 4 weeks in a row. He's not missing for a month. But I can imagine Damien Hardwick saying, you are going to stick to him like glue.
Yeah.
He is not kicking his first goal in a month on us.
Yeah, and if he does get one, it's just going to start. The wheels are going to start rolling. So they can't have that happen. So that's going to be a pure shutdown job if they can do it.
I like that call. The Carlton Geelong game. So this one was actually a pretty good game, and I thought Geelong would actually almost kind of put Carlton in their place. But man, when Carlton get on a run, they, not only the team, but their fans, the crowd, the atmosphere, it's just a big boulder to stop. Carlton are a rampaging beast when they're on.
Yeah, game of the round for me.
This was fantastic. And I hope it wasn't ruined from your boy, Tom Stewart, who pooped out a 13 posies.
Yeah, I think we said, I definitely said it. I thought Tom Stewart for 20 was...
And look, I said so too. I didn't want to... Yeah, he's our boy. He both missed.
Yeah,
but,
they were our locks of the week, let's say that. Yeah. We were very bullish on him getting 20. He looks like an old man.
Old, slow, uninterested as well.
Yeah, he doesn't look like... He doesn't want to take the hit. And he was always... Like, watching him on the weekend, I think that's probably the closest I've watched him this year. And... the ball's coming in where you're like, Tom Stewart would just gobble that up. When he's playing your team, you're like, oh fuck, Tom Stewart's just marking
the intercept
everything.
King.
Now it's just a one fist and it's a panic when he does it too. He doesn't want to take the mark. I hope he bounces back because he's one of the best players. He's one of the best halfbacks we've seen in a long time. But last year, he went through a patch of form. Remember when he was starting to get tagged out of games and the people were really getting into him? Port Adelaide really got into him. And Geelong's saving grace was we've chuck him in the midfield. He definitely can't go in the midfield.
There's no chance of that happening now, especially when you got the Dash brothers in there. Like, throwing the old man there as well? So.
But not even that. He wouldn't be... I don't think he physically can get in there. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not played this week, if he's managed.
No, we should have started this conversation as well. Yes, injury cloud under him, but... he hobbled and stayed on. Was it the first quarter where he...
First quarter, he hit the knee. Same knee
that he's had trouble with. But that shouldn't be any shock or surprise or reason to sort of give him an out because he is made of glass. He gets injured 4 times a year and he can usually either play through it or he's subbed and maybe the bet's voided. But so if you're out in the park, I expect you to get the...
82% game time. He didn't come off. He didn't need to come off. Now, I think we did speak about this. Like, he took 4 kick-ins. What do you get for the game touch-wise? 13. So 9 touches. And me and James, I don't know if anyone else knows this off the top of the head that's listening, but I swear he took 3 out in the full kick-ins.
We were guessing. So like let's say 4 kick-ins. 2, 3 out of
let's
bounds.
Say 2. Let's say nice 2. Say 2.
Did you get a free or something as well? Or
he got 1 free kick for the game.
There you go. So what are we at now? Do this. That's 7 posies.
7 posies. Yeah. Fuck me. So and then what did he get for the game total? He got
13.
6 in play, and a lot of them were. I felt like teammates hack handballing to him, and him just getting immediately tackled, and him just handballing it over his head to get out of there. Like he just didn't link up. Without his pace, he's just not in it. And I hope he's recovers because he's really good to watch. I think we can't bet on him for a while.
The reason I think John and I are being so critical on him because he's just a lock for 20. So the reason he's done it 2 weeks in a row has just kind of caused us to really reassess where he's at physically and also how he's fitting in as the team. When you've got Zach Guthrie and then Lawson Humphreys looking fit as a fiddle out there, wanting nothing but the footy, and they're running, handball receives, and then you've got Tom Stewart kind of just hobbling, getting around, not making space. Tom Stewart, we're not going to rely on him for kick-ins, but he would also really want to switch the play. So if he's not taking intercept marks on one side, he's running down the other and kick it here. He's just back to the ball. Let me just plop over here. I don't want to see that.
He's just I want him to be good because it's going to be. I want him to play well. I really like watching Tom Stewart play, but I wouldn't even bet on him for 15. I don't think at the moment.
No, so. And just another thing. Jono and I. There's no players that we hate or anything. What we just hate is just the mistake we made, I guess, of maybe not seeing it, and so his form is just not there at the moment.
Right. In fairness, it's nothing against Tom Stewart. Him playing injured is doing the solid for his team. He's doing good by the Geelong Football Club. He's trying his best at it. I think the Geelong need to rest him though, because he's just nothing what he should be. Give him a
spell. So this is all from a posse point of view. That's a great pickup. He's doing what they need to try and get the win. Look, any other fresh, lesser player, would just sort of come off. Oh, I'm a bit too sore. No, he wants to try and get him the win. So, just literally from a posse point of view, not there. Otherwise, he is trooper.
With that knee though, I don't think he can jump like he used to and take the mark, and I don't think he's got the pace to get away from people. Now, I hope we're wrong. I hope we come in next week and people Tom Shield got 25. You guys are idiots, and that'd be great. But yeah,
because at the end of the day, we want to see these players play well. It's why we're betting on them.
Yeah, I think we have to blacklist him for a couple of weeks. Hopefully,
until we just see his body just looking a bit more sturdy. So the other one that was a bit of a shock, Dangerfield. And look, yes, we both know that he's playing a lot of time up forward. Like, maybe did I think he was going to play like the whole game up forward? Well, not the whole game. He got 20% CBAs, and I know his CBAs have sort of gone down. I thought he might have got like 30, 40, especially when the game's on the line. Like, I mean, he's so good up forward, it's hard to get him out of there. But I don't know. I really thought he would have had more opportunities.
Yeah, watching this live, I'm like, all right, because they were putting in there, but I'm like, all right, Geelong's falling behind here. It's time to win. They need a spark. It's time to get him in there. And they did, but they didn't do it. I thought they'd do it.
I thought it happened way more often or earlier. Or
they're in the game when the game was slipping and they just waited too long. I don't know. He's so good in the forward line and he is really good. But yeah, I know. Maybe we look at him for this week for 15.
Yeah, he's probably not someone I'm writing off as early. And you got to remember as well, Carlton did dominate. Usually a lot of the time, Geelong are the ones doing the dominating. So, and his body language is exactly what I want to see. Hungry. That smash into Adam Sard he did, just... Someone called him, like, I think it was like tackling a barrel or something. Like, he looks amazing. So a 13 in his books is like, look, I'm still happy to bet on him. And for $1.45, like, that's hard to say no to. He'll
probably get the Maynard matchup, I imagine, this week. So that will be interesting. I think he's probably a little bit too big for Maynard. So that might he'll probably give Maynard a bit of trouble.
And Collingwood are hot as. I feel like Chris Scott's got to be prepared. Collingwood are arguably the informed side at the moment. Like, you can't have Paddy Dangerfield twiddling his thumbs in the forward line when the game's slipping for halftime.
The other thing I'd say is Collingwood allow the least amount of inside 50s. Like,
okay, maybe he's gonna avoid this week.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, that is.
But again, then if the ball's not going in there, they have to chuck him up in the fit. They can't waste a guy like that. So.
At the same time, I kind of don't want to hope, where if he's going to go into the mid. But yeah, the Carlton mids, I think I called it as well, just feasted. Absolutely feasted. Sam Walsh, I was being conservative for 20 posies. He got 30. Paddy Cripps, I said avoid. Okay, what the heck? That is absolutely crazy. To be fair, though, is this the first, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the first game in a while where it's been Mackay and Curnow playing at the same time?
They played one game together and Mackay got knocked out 10 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. Was that last week or the week before?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, the point is, I guess, when the forwards are back, Paddy Cripps is back in the centre, 86% CBAs. That is more than the ruckman, which you very rarely see. So that is crazy.
Like we said, I think we said, maybe that comes back, and it did. He's back. It was only for a couple of weeks to maybe let his body recover potentially.
I was personally still maybe hesitant. I was just like, he's way down in posies, but yeah, it's a good pickup that when the big boys are back, they don't need Cripps when Curnow and Mackay are there.
The one for me, though, we did comment on was, we're like, Walsh has dropped those 2 weeks, and it didn't come back, but he still got 30 touches. But the CBA minutes for Walsh didn't recover.
No.
But it didn't affect him. He still killed him.
Thankfully, he's just a great runner, can just make so much space. Adam Chera, he's got a little bandage symbol next to his name. Did he come off or something? But he's
suspended.
Oh, I forgot what was it. He got a week for something.
He got a week, but they're going to challenge it. I reckon he'll get off. But
okay,
watch that space. He did. So that's actually interesting because Walsh's minutes will go through the roof. But then they need to bring in an extra mid. I don't know who they bring in. Hollands actually might go through the roof.
Yeah, Hollands has been great coming off like the half forward line and stuff, getting footy. I didn't want to bet on him just yet because obviously he got the tax sub last week. I don't know how much they're conditioning him at the moment. Zach Williams got injured. We don't know if he could have got another tax sub. But the point was I didn't want to bet on him until I see him play a good game and where the tax sub is gone.
He played really good.
He played really good. So 25 posies looked really good. So
his brother as well played really good too.
Yeah, I haven't been that bullish on Ollie Holland for posies. No. He did get a 23, but I thought
he'd get more. Sard down there is just gobbling up too much.
Exactly. And plus, Mitch McGovern has actually hit form. So he was probably arguably my favourite player behind, let's say top 5 for the 15 posie bracket. Yes, he fell off a lot at the end of last year and the start of this year. He's arguably back. I think that's 3-4 weeks in a row where he's hit over 15.
Jack Silvani out for 2 weeks or 1 to 2 weeks. So
because he punched Danger.
yeah, and broke his hand. It shows you how tough Dangerfield is. Yeah, so he's back. Oh, so he'll be out. So Gov, it's even more chance, I guess, for Gov, or does it put Gov under more pressure? I don't know.
I think someone like even McGovern's played, kind of shutdown roles. When he's on, he'll get 15 posies. And again, not to say that we want to rely on this or anything, but Mitch McGovern got only 2 kicks. Wait, they only had 4 kicks. John kicked 4 points. Wow, and he still hit 20 posies. That is amazing. No team's like kicking 4 points in a game.
Just this week, though, they're going to have the big thriller. They're going to have Tex. They're going to have, I don't know, Folks.
Just think of all the behinds they're going to kick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm wondering it's against his old club. I don't know. We'll look at that in our next video. Like, does he fire up when he plays Adelaide against his old club? We'll have to look that up. So.
Yeah. Last thing, I forgot to mention Lawson Humphreys. I obviously really like in the bet down there that hit. And the other one who did hit, but not cause for concern. Max Holmes 20. So the reason I just say it, not cause, because obviously Carlton's mid gets so much of it. It's really hard to expect. Like I said, you've got Walsh, Cripps, Hewitt, Hollands, Chera all getting 25. To ask Max Holmes to get 20 is a hard task, but the reason I say he just had a very quiet start, but a player like that finished out the game strong, which is great to see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyone you want to go to or swing by the last game now?
No, let's go to the last game, I think.
Oh, actually, last one, Jeremy Cameron, 14 posies. Another, I think he's got like 14 or 13 in the last couple of weeks in a row, so. And was it a wet game?
He loves to fucking play against Collingwood.
Oh, anyway. All right, that was just a little tease before we go into the last round. The last game of that round, which was the Hawthorn Eagles. And finally, that's where we got our win. So you know how we're up $6? We got a bet on this and we got the bonus bet. So my bonus bet is through a different broker because I did my bookie, because I did one with Ladbrokes for the... So just the bonus bet, remember, the great time to remind you guys, every bet really should be covered. Our first game of the Sunday missed by 1 leg, so we get a $50 bonus bet, or whatever value you do, under $50, and we couldn't put it on the Geelong game because that had already started. So where does it go? It goes to the next game, which is here. So $230, $225. That is crazy. That is freaking wild. This is the second week in a row. The last game has bailed us out, so this was actually a great finish.
So even if, think about it, guys, we had a horrible weekend.
Horrible, unlucky week.
And very unlucky, and we shouldn't really count on. We shouldn't let's not always count on our bonus bets, but we did get a bit of out of jail free card in a way. So
we don't want to rely on it, but it's just a great just trying to be sensible and not throw it on stupid shit. And when I get the bonus bets, I've said it all the time, just you don't have to, this is free money, it's a bonus bet, I'm just going to put on whatever. No, just stick to the bets that you're confident in.
Stick to the process.
Stick to the process. Trust the process. I'm just going to clear this bonus bet off the screen so we can see you. But otherwise, Sicily, great, especially against West Coast, where I thought he wouldn't get much of the footy.
He was a lock. He was a lock.
He was a great lock for you. But then I was like, Battle's getting 29. What the fuck? And then, Brass only got 9. But yeah,
Brass went forward.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me. I'll go through. Harley Reid had a very quiet first half. I think he was on 1 or 2 posies. Half time, he was on 6. So he was in the forward line a lot. As soon as he came into the midfield, oh man, I don't care if he's giving away stupid free kicks, he's getting the footy. Just to cap out the bet, sorry. Baker for 20, he was just on track. Baker has been so consistent. Ryan Marrick, who was $1.77 for 20 posies. This man is fucking
I think we called him early on in round 2. Whenever we did our first video, and geez, he is just he's gone more than what we ever thought.
Yeah, and he had 6 kick-ins. He has got 45 kick-ins. Jeremy McGovern, who has 23, half the kick-outs. Yes, he's missed 2 games. The 2 games Jeremy McGovern missed, you know how many kick-outs Ryan Marrick had? 18. What the fuck? He is looking so good. And again, not only for kickouts, right? So if we take his kickouts off, he's getting 19. He's getting 19 posies around the ground because he has a great kick, wants the footy, distributor, handball receive, everything you want for him.
And the ball lives in that back half. So.
Yeah, West Coast are not... they're not having it in their forward line anytime soon. So, then James Warple to finish off the bet. Very bullish on. His miss for the year was when he got injured. 11 at half time. Really like Warple at the moment.
Yeah, and while they still give us good odds on Marek, we're going to keep taking it.
Oh, I think it was $3.20 for 25, which he hit, but we got him for $1.77 on 20. Like, are you kidding? That's how we're getting. So we got $4.60 for this one. And then when I did the bonus bet, so the bet on the far left there, that's the one I did on, I don't know, maybe the Sunday morning, Saturday night. And then I did this one right before the game. The odds went up an extra $1. Like, that is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Giving us free money.
Huswaite, so we knew Connor Nash was going to be out going into, and he's going to be out the next month. Huswaite, there was all talk, he'll come in and he'll just take all those minutes. He didn't. He didn't take the minutes. Cam McKenzie took them all. So
yeah, no, I was bullish on Cam McKenzie. He missed by one posie last week. Bounce back. Great.
Yeah, just hit though against West Coast. So
sorry, he's 15 posie bracket. Or he might be
20 so he's
now.
15 moment. If he's in the 20 though, not for 20 then. If he's 15 then we're going again.
Yeah. He might lose his value. I hate it. Like games like this where a lot of players hit. Speaking of the players maybe who didn't hit and that we're also bullish on, Carl Amon and Jack Scrimshaw, obviously missing because out of their control. Carl Amon would have hit if he played the whole game. Scrimshaw might not have, but it was too early to kind of tell. Both of them I'm bullish on. Hopefully when they're back, which obviously won't be this week, it'll be the following week, someone to look at and remember. Do not, when you open the betting app and you see, what the fuck, you got a 5 or you got an 18, sub-affected.
Yep. I don't know if you want to dive in. I'll dive. Anyone else? Because I've got a good point.
No, you go.
Yeah. We spoke about this before we started recording, but this is just for we'll have to look at it when the odds come out and everything and who we're going to look at. But Carl Amon and Scrimshaw are both out. These are both backline pigs. Carl Amon's probably their biggest backline pig. We're trying. Maybe it's Impey, maybe it's Sicily that just reap the benefits here. I don't know.
And as someone who used to bet on Impey a lot, and I'm pretty sure he's only hit his last 2. I do a lot of these. My head is a footy disposal fucking encyclopedia, but it's very rusty. But I'm pretty sure Jarman Impey had missed, let's say, his first 5 games, and I think he's hit his last 2. As Jono's saying, someone I maybe haven't been bullish on this year, but if there's no Carl Amon or Scrimshaw, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and then he didn't take any kick-in. They spread their kick-ins out a lot, though, I have to say. Hardwick, Battle takes a couple, Sicily takes, but Amon is their most kick-in guy. He's now out of the team, so I think Sicily's just going to take more kick-ins, if anything. So yeah.
No, I do like that point of view. I think Elijah Hewitt, your boy, you noticed 17 Aussies. Do like that. Someone who is getting CBAs in a team. Sometimes the team that's going to struggle, they get decent odds, because they're not going to touch it much, they're not going to kick many goals. Elijah Hewitt, another 60+% game time in the mid, and someone I like for 15 at this point in time. Yeah,
the other one, weirdly, Brady Hoff. Where did that come from?
Brady Hoff. What did he get? Brady?
CBAs out of nowhere. He's a defender.
23. What the heck?
Yeah. So
wild.
And he 21.
So he got 23 posies. What was his CBA?
Sorry, 23. It's CBA.
79%.
Yeah. So if he's, if he's in the 15 touch bracket next week, we've got to go for it.
I don't even know much about this player.
Xavier Ellis is actually really big on him on Hardball Gets.
I haven't listened to their episode this week yet.
Yeah, just likes the way he plays, but I don't know where this came from. First time given midfield minutes.
Yeah, he hit his first game against Gold Coast, missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, and then 23. But that's a great pickup when someone
usually plays backline though. So
yeah, so that is from going 0 last week to 80% mid. That is a great pickup because not many people will be switched on yet.
It's an interesting one. Do we roll the dice on him doing it again? He played pretty well, so you feel like what have they got to lose, West Coast, in playing him in there again?
Yeah,
unless Tim Kelly comes back, maybe, I don't know.
The only reason, obviously I'm not going to bet on him is if because he's versing Melbourne next week. So when you consider someone, obviously a Gawn or a Petrarca or a Bowie, when you consider all these players, it's does he make the cut in the multi when I've got other locks that I really like?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
That's fair.
obviously, really good pickup. Anyone else you
Yeah.
want to go through or touch on for the whole round before we move on to the betting portion of the video?
No, I think that we're just from those ones. No, I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's anyone else. I don't think I do.
No,
Yeah,
easy.
it was a tough round, but I
Tough
thought
round,
like,
but we made $6 whole, Jono. That's
yeah, I
almost a
know.
dollar
So,
a game.
mate, we split that at $3 each. So,
Yeah, fuck, don't go spend it all at once.
no, no, exactly. So,
Nah, it's not too bad. Like we said, we got bailed out by the Sunday game, but we don't want to be relying on that and winning only one game a week. So yeah, we definitely want to pick things up. So yeah, we will speak to you guys in the betting portion of the video.
see you there.
Too easy. Peace. All right, guys, we're back for our round 8 tips. We've obviously missed game 1 and game 2, but they are all posted on the YouTube site. I'm not going to pump that up now because I've said it plenty of times. I might bring it up later, but for now, we're getting straight into game 3, which is the Bulldogs Port game, which is at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. I'll quickly just go through my bets and pass to Jono. Bramall for 15, English 15, and then we go Richards, Dale for 20, and Connor Rose for 25. So, Jono, who do you like out of this game?
Team English for 15, I really like, especially when you take out the Sam Darcy thing. We saw his CBA's last week went to its highest for the year, so he's it's not a massive increase, but it's still it's enough. It's increased, so it's just more chance for him to get the ball.
Yeah, plus just a little bit of confidence as well. Like, I think he was down on it, and now he's just he always was the main ruckman and stuff, but I just feel like he going from maybe just hitting 15s to now going 23, like 17, 18, 19, he has definitely found a bit of form, and like you said, the CBA increase I think just helps him.
Yep. You've got to start. Oh, don't
worry. I literally just saw that just then. I was like, anyway, the other one for 15. So Bramall, who just missed, I can give him the benefit of the doubt there, because in that GWS Doggies game, the Doggies midfield was fucking tearing GWS midfield a new one. So they were getting so many inside 50s themselves, and it wasn't coming back into the Doggies defensive 50. So players like Bramall and Dale, who I feel like are paying pretty good this week, I think are every chance.
And Bramall Dale's more sits around the back 50, pushes up to the half midway point of the field. Bramble's more really goal line kind of guy. So if the ball's not going deep enough, we saw it last week when GW's got very few of their inside 50s, that's when he came into play. So
yeah. And Lockie Bramall's usually good for 2-3 kick-ins. Like, look, we're not asking for too much, but it's just definitely enough to help. Like if he's only getting 11, 12 around the ground, I feel like, and not to mention the kick-in receives. I know Bailey Dale fucking bombs it up every time he does a kick-in, but Bramall's usually there as a receive.
Yeah. One thing you'll probably notice, guys, is that other than Ed, I feel like we're very safe with Ed. He's been really good this year. He's really consistent. I don't think he'll be impacted, but we've steered clear of a lot of these Doggies midfielders. It's just with the Treloar inclusion and the Bont inclusion, we have if we thought we had no idea last week, I have no idea what's going to happen this week.
Yeah, as John was saying, like literally in the 25 and the 20 posse bracket, we haven't highlighted Bont, Treloar, Libba for either. Like, look, they might hit, but one, they're not enough value, or two, we just don't know. So Treloar will come in and usually like average 25 posies. Who's losing out on those posies? We don't know. So
we'll just wait and see.
But Ed Richards, 10 out of 10, $1.20, who has looked great. And even when Treloar was in this side, he was still getting 20. Libba was the one who was getting, he's got more posies and had a really great start to the year. But so I feel like he's the one who might take a hit. Plus, or Riley Sanders. Riley Sanders might get thrown to the wing or something. Or Matt Kennedy. I feel like Ed Richards, they really got him from halfback into the mid. They're not going to, regress value on his investment.
Next captain of the club, he's their guy. So.
Yeah, no, he looks great. Just touching on the 15 posse bracket before we move on. Williams, I like, super short. Bramall bounced back. Drew has had a quiet one against Sydney. That was when he was tagging, I think it was Heaney. So I feel like even when he's tagging, it's still hit. The occasional quiet one doesn't really worry me. Bergman, he's slowly creeping back to that $1.40, $1.50 value. So remember, he went $1.50 straight to $1.10, and then he's missed his last two. And not to mention there's an injury game in there that I've excluded. So I like Miles Bergman, but we're finally seeing him for around the price that we should be getting for him. Jason Johannesson, Jono and I just spoke. We're going Bramall and Dale. I just can't do Johannesson, even though I would like... there's a little bit that's tempting me there. I just can't have like 3 Doggies half-backers in my bet.
One thing is to just think about, guys. It's in Ballarat. It's always windy there. It's always cold. We'll just have to it's going to impact a bit. It might make it a bit messy. That's just one thing to keep in mind. So.
Now on to the 20 posi bracket. Highlighted Hornet. He has looked great, especially with Butters coming back. Has just helped him out a lot. Connor Rose's in the back line. He's just getting a lot more CBAs, and it's, I don't know, nothing really bad to say about Hornet. Just couldn't quite fit him in when I liked the other options there. Matt Kennedy, who's hit every game this year for doggies. I might just highlight him as orange just to reiterate what we were speaking about before, how Adam Trelaw's come back. Anyone from 20 you like, or we can just go straight to 25?
Yeah, I think less than 20. Unfortunately, Riley Sanders, the free money at 15's gone.
Oh yeah, I missed it. Yeah, he's $1.10. We were getting him for $1.45 at one point.
Yeah, it was just a free money every week. Now, unfortunately, we're actually going to have to be smart about it. I think he's now last year he was a sub risk when all the full team was in. Would be interesting what happens to him. Watch and see. So.
And look, I like Sanders.
I do too.
Even for 20, I liked, but again, I just can't. I can't. How are you expecting all these doggies to get it? I mean, look, they might, but it's just. Yeah,
let's just let's just see this week and give it a couple of weeks. We'll see what they do.
Yeah. On the other side of the coin, though, we have Butters, the Port mid, who has come start the year just fucking on fire. Is this his fourth or third game now? This year? Fourth? Sorry. I think so. While you looked at, he's got 30, 33, and 227 games.
This is his fifth game. So he's 4 games this year. He's obviously 30.
Also, this is his fifth. Yeah, so he hasn't dropped below 27 posies to start this year.
Yeah.
So looking fantastic. And if anyone does fantasy, you'll know he's absolutely just fucking killing it. I really like him, but I just think I had to go Connor Rose for 25 because he is really flourishing there in the back line. I feel like doggies will play well. I think just Connor Rose has a bit more freedom in the back there.
I think we were saying this before when we were making the bets. Let's ride it. Let's ride Connor until he dies. The there's great value there. Let's just keep going on him.
Yep. So. No, I think so too. I have highlighted a couple of goal scorers. Some I like I personally like Ollie Lord there the most. 9 out of 10. Every game this year he's kicked one. Going to have scoring shots. Going to have low posies too, but I don't care if he has 4 or 5 posies. One of those is going to be a shot at goal. So someone I really like. So if I was to go goal scorer, I'd go them. Bond might go up forward a bit more than usual because obviously Doggies midfield is stacked. And Rioli and Pau Pepper. Nothing I would kind of... I would go just disposals first.
What's atrocious is that Rory Lobb's only paying $1.10.
Come on, give us something. Give us some value.
If that was if that was $1.50, we're going on it. But $1.10.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, $1.10. Look, he's probably going to play forward, kick a goal, what have you. But I don't know, something could happen where he's easily needed back in defense. He's been a defender now for the last year. $1.10, awful value.
Yeah.
Anyone else you want to touch on, or we'll move on to the next one?
Nah, I think that sums it up pretty well. Buku Karmas surprisingly not on there for goals. If you really want to throw a riskier one in there, Buku, he's not even on there.
He played forward line.
Yeah, I think he played a little bit of forward line. Or from what I saw, he played a little bit up the ground. But yeah, so
no, easy. All right, let's move on. All right, on to the fourth game, Adelaide Carlton in Adelaide. So thankfully, we have a lot to pick from here in the 15 posi bracket. Straight up, I'll go into my bets. Worrell, Keys, 15, Rankin for 20, Hewitt for 25. Now, just to touch on, Keys just missed by 1 posi, but boy, I know a lot of you guys saw that game with me too, where he had 1 posi in the first, 2 in the second. Absolute peanuts. He stormed home in the last quarter when Adelaide as a team picked up, and I feel like this game at Adelaide against Carlton, I just think Ben Keys, it's his 1 miss and he missed by 14. And what's great to see is you can't rule him out. So even if he's just missing, even though he started the game off awfully. So I like that.
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah, sorry, man. We spoke about it before. For 15s and things like that. Worrell, I do like the most out of the picks. Isaac Rankin, I really like because Carlton's not going to tag, and our boy Georgie Hewitt. I think he's everyone's boy at the moment. You got to keep going while it's still alive. Sorry, I jumped around, but back to the 15s though. One there is Brody Smith, who might be tempting. He's probably a sub risk, is all I'd say. Just first game back, he's a bit older. I don't know what you think about him, but yeah.
I think a sub risk, or I think tempting is a great way to put it. Obviously, Mitch Hinge out with the suspension. Brody Smith has been, like, a year or two ago, someone I was always umming and ahhing about. Like, do I go Smith? Do I go Hinge? Whatever. But for 15, you think would be a walk in the park for him. Obviously, hasn't played a game this year. I can't do it, especially when you've got Worrell there, 10 out of 10, who's just looking great in the back line there. I would go Neil Bullen before Smith, or like I've highlighted Doherty and Smith. They're more value picks. They're also sub risks, but I guess that's why they're paying reasonable. But
I think Doherty is every chance to start sub as well. So yeah,
I just realized I forgot to highlight Luke Nankervis. He just missed. I've done the bet already. But yeah, as you're speaking, I'm like, I let him slip. So he's been fantastic. He had a miss. You got to excuse him. Rankin missed, Keys missed, Nank missed. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Matt Crouch got subbed. Like Adelaide would just. Or was that the sub game? Was it the week before? Anyway,
no, Matt Crouch got sub tactically, but then now he's injured, so might have been an injured sub. But.
No, well the point was a lot of Adelaide players like just missed. So and Jake Saligo just missed.
Yeah, we have to bug it up. We should have got Luke in there.
Yeah. So this is like Jono and I did our bets like together this time. Usually it's like maybe I'll sort it out and get his feedback, but we did it live together. So we both just missed Nank. I like him coming off a miss. I think all the signs are there.
Yeah,
but
I would have him in there actually.
I like everyone.
I wouldn't have him ahead of everyone we've picked though.
Yeah, I think that is a great point. As much as we like him to bounce back, half back wing, makes himself an option, wins the footy, pretty strong. I like all those players there, because speaking of coming off a miss, if we go to the 20 posi bracket, the only player I like there is coming off a miss, and that's Isaac Rankin, who got 19 in a game where you can only ask a small forward to do so much. Yes, he plays around the ball a lot more, but Freo just looked dominant in that game. They didn't tonight though, did they?
Isaac, we'll talk about that in the review next week.
Yeah.
Isaac Rankin, though, he's going to be like a demon to Carlton. He's pace around the ball that Carlton don't have. He's going to be the quickest guy in that midfield for both teams. So
my only concern is how much footy the Carlton mids get. Carlton midfielders get so much of it. Like they've got Hewitt, Walsh, Cripps, Chera, like all can comfortably get 25 at one point or another. Yeah. So that's my only concern. But Rankin has only had one proper miss this year, and it was by one posi last week. His 15 was when he got subbed out, like not long into the third quarter against Essendon. So this year at where his CBA minutes have increased, he's looked great.
I think he's the point of difference for me in this game. Like the Adelaide's got a lot of big body mids. Carlton's got a lot of big body mids. But he's the one. He's the point of difference in most games he plays, in fairness. But I feel like he's just going to own outside ball.
Yeah. Yep. I really like Rankin there. No one else I can really comfortably bet on. Obviously, the players here are just sort of too short for my liking. If I wanted to maybe boost the multi, I would go Dawson or Chera for 20. Maybe not Laird, but yeah. Again, it's just no value there. Into the 25, you touched on Hewitt. He's looking great this year.
Mm-hmm. He's best player in the comp right now.
He kicked that great goal as well. Like, he's getting so much of the footy. Like, he's 10 out of 10 for 25, averaging 34 in his last 3. Like, what the fuck? He is absolutely destroying. He looks the pick. And I know Cripps is back in the mid more, so he played a lot forward when there was no Mackay/Curnow, but now they're both back.
Didn't matter.
Exactly. Did not matter. Hewitt still got 29, looked fantastic. And I feel like, as we just spoke about, Carlton's mids being so good, George Hewitt, I just want one who I really like, 10 out of 10. He's averaging like 9 more than what we're asking for in his last 3 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. Walsh is looking good. Running, if he has his own space, if he's not playing, around all the stoppages, if he can provide a run, he's great. Chera has only had the 1 miss this year for 25 for Carlton. Another great bit of value, but there's just other options I like.
Yeah,
more.
I think, it's unfortunate that Walsh is so short, but like, I feel like you'd almost go Walsh in a week's time when he hits again. But yeah, I'm surprised he's paying so little money already. Like, people jumping on him, like, we haven't seen enough yet. So, yeah.
He's had the 2 misses this year, but he is probably like my least favorite out of the. I would go Chera over Walsh. I guess
Yeah.
it is the value for money there. Like if Walsh was paying the $1.45, I'd go him every day. But that's the whole point with betting. You got to find the players who are worth it. So
Yeah.
onto the goal scorers. Speaking of Ben Keys, how he just missed by one posie in the disposals. So he also, actually, I should have checked this just before. I can't remember if he had a set shot. I think was it a set shot or he had a shot at goal. Either way, I'm pretty sure he kicked the points. So the thing is, he always has a scoring shot. He's looked great. Adelaide were down. I feel like all the signs are there for him to bounce back. Really like Ben Keys there. Rochelle had his first game back, kick one. Rankin kick one, but I like Rankin for posies more.
Yeah, I think we said this before. Like, if you had to pick between Ben Keys, he missed on a goal and he missed on 15. If you had to pick one, we would pick the 15 over the goal. But if you really want a goal kicker, I'd like Ben Keys.
Yeah, so. And it's very tempting to almost include both, but I hate sort of double dipping and asking so much from a player. Riley Thilthorpe, I actually do like for 2 goals. I didn't include him.
Fogg's back and the finger was a bit red flag.
Yep, exactly. So maybe someone to watch, but I have mentioned him in the past, so you'll probably just wonder why I haven't noted him for this game.
Yep.
Moving on.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Good.
All right, on to the 5th game of the round, which is Saturday night. Collingwood Geelong, big Jack Chris milestone, breaking Jim Stein's all-time consecutive games record. So Jono's going to be there for that one. Get around him. It's going to be a great game. I am very excited. It's going to be a great game regardless. Geelong, Collingwood.
Big night for Jack Cripps and the Collingwood Footy Club, I think.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's going to be great. We're probably going to be torn between which game to watch, whether this one or the West Coast Melbourne game. But if you're on the fence, I'd go this one.
Yeah, if you just I'm going to the Collingwood Geelong game, but I'll probably watch the Melbourne game on my phone.
I don't blame you. It's going to be a close one.
Exactly right.
For the bet, for the 15 posies, speaking of the man of the moment, we've gone Jack Cripps 15. I think it's an absolute layup. 10 out of 10, averaging 20 and a half posies in his last 10. I feel like a quiet game, Jack Cripps hits that comfortably. He's more of to boost this to $3, as you'll see why, because we also have Lawson Humphries for 15, who's quite short. So we already have 2 sub $1.15 bets. We also have Nick Dacos. We have the Dacos brothers coming up, but the main risky one we have is Ned Long. So we'll touch on him in a second, but that's the bet that we have to start the round here. So yeah, Crisp, who I like, Humphries. Anyone else that you like from the 15 poly bracket here?
Yeah, just on Jack Crisp, like last week we spoke about the sub risk. There is 0 chance of a sub. The only chance of getting subbed if he's injured this week. So
they're not going to take him off in 3/4 time.
No, I don't think so. No, get him fresh for 245. Keep the
exactly
246. Sorry.
Nice.
The other one we actually really looked at was Darcy Cameron for 15. Now here's Mason Cox is back. If Mason wasn't playing, I would have definitely done it. I think we would have gone for it. But just with Reece Stanley there, Reece Stanley seems like he's kind of like the Goldie. He's a bit of free hit there. So, but with Mason Cox, it's just a bit, we don't know. So
yeah, I agree on the same thing. And not that, it's just more, Darcy Cameron's really good, around the ground and pushing, the lesser ruckman out, getting a handball, getting a kick. But he also is great at marking it in the back line. So, and he kicked the goal last week, so he's great for a mark. So I'm not like that. I'm worried. There's a bit of worry there, but yeah, if Mason Cox wasn't playing, I feel like I'd be picking Darcy Cameron in a heartbeat. So there's enough worry in there for me maybe not to select him, but I still think he can hit.
Yeah, the other one as well, Paddy Dangerfield for 15. I think they're depending how this game goes, I think it will be a very, very close game. If Collingwood do pull away and they're beasting him in the midfield, and the game's getting away from him, Paddy might just have to go back, play midfield.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I kind of think either he could get subbed if it's getting out too far. But my other concern is, I thought he would be thrown into the midfield more than what he has been. So when he started the year, they threw him in a little bit to help. The last couple of rounds, I should have checked the CBAs. Actually, I've got it here, CBAs. Geelong, P. Dangerfield.
Oh, he's really dropped off.
Yeah, he 4%. 2 weeks ago, then 21. This is going from 50%, 65%, 50%. He's really dropped off. And look, I like Paddy Dangerfield for 15. If he just plays a little bit more around the ball, even if he's in the forward line, yeah, he's still a chance. Obviously, he missed last week, but I just would like, I need him up the ground a bit more. That's what I like.
Yeah, I think he'll be an interesting watch. I think Now, there's a lot of talk going around. Now, this is going to be a wait and see. There's a lot of talk around that he is fucking up Jeremy Cameron, Shannon Neal, and Ollie Henry by being there. Now, he's playing really well. He's kicking a lot of goals. He's playing as one of the best forwards at the moment, but he's also fucking up the other three. So how long are they going to let? Now, Cameron played really well last week, but the other two we are yet to see shine yet. So are they going to maybe make a move? We'll see. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I would just kind of rather go for a bit more certainty at the moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of certainty, Ned Long, big schlong. So he is looking fantastic, and look, he's 4 out of 10. You're like, what the fuck? Why are you including him? But he has hit every game this year where he's played a full game, excluding all the sub games, all the BS. When he has played, he has looked fantastic. He might butcher it, not super clean by foot, but he is a great, tough body in there to really help alleviate, like Nick Dacos do his thing. I have loved what I've seen from Ned Long. So
he's there's no chance they'll start himself, in my opinion. There's
no,
chance.
I feel like that's...
and it's like, I don't know what the stats are exactly, but when he's on ground, Collingwood, I believe they concede their least amount of points when he's on the field.
Yeah.
So,
no, get him on. Ned Long has looked fantastic this year, and $1.75 for someone who is 4 out of 4 for all the games. He's only played 4 games. I think that is just absolutely great. Not like huge. Actually, yeah, he's got 72, 65, 53% CBAs, but at this point, I don't care. He's getting a lot of it round the ground stoppages. Fantastic.
And the way he plays, it's CBAs. That's like goes in there, plays the midfield. Once it's around the ground, he's not really there, or he needs contest. He needs contest after contest. He's going to be the biggest boy in there unless Dangerfield goes in there, but it's him and Tom Atkins going head to head. So I feel like he'll get the win there.
Tom Atkins might be on Dacos, right?
Well, that's it. We'll talk about that when we get to Dacos maybe, but we can probably jump to him now if you.
Yeah, well, just quickly touching on these last 20. Pendlebury, yeah, old boy, I like. Max Holmes just has me a little bit worried just because even in the games he's hitting, it's just been 20, and he's had quiet starts. Was on 7 at like halftime. When he's tagged, he's out of it. I don't know.
He does give Collingwood a lot of, in fairness to just being a Collingwood fan, usually when we play him, he does give us a lot of grief. So
look, he's a great player. I just thought he would get a little bit more of it.
Yeah, I feel like he's a guy that doesn't need the ball much to do a lot of damage though. So maybe that's what I'm remembering. So yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. We don't know. It's just hitting at the moment. So.
Yeah. I really like Lawson Humphries for 20. I've spoken about this. Every game he's played this year, excluding one. So he would have hit. He got 18, 19 in his misses. He would have hit if he played on from kickouts, right? And I know we don't want to rely on that, but I'm just saying the fact is there. He missed
And no Tom Stewart.
And there's no Tom Stewart this week, right? So he is like 4 out of 6. Oh, sorry. What was that? 4 out of 7. I really, really like him. So I've been conservative on 15, but someone who I'm bullish on, and yeah, no Tom Stewart. And Mitch Duncan's coming in, surely is going to be subbed. There's no way they can throw him in.
I think it'll be him or the new kid. But yeah, I think Duncan's not going to play full game, you wouldn't think.
Surely not. So. No way. That's asking so much.
Yeah.
So now we get to Nick Dacos for the 25. I think he is just an absolute beast. His one miss was the 21 posies where he cramped up, was tagged by Bedford, played half a game, everything was against him, and he still got 21 posies. So he was kind of close anyway. He is fucking averaging 34 posies in his last 3 games. Probably, future Brownlow medalist this year, maybe. But yeah, looking fantastic.
Yeah, we'll talk like tag wise. I could be O'Connor, could be Atkins. I think though we've seen this year, multiple teams have tried to tag him. It hasn't worked. He still hits. So I don't think we need to fear the tag as much with Nick. The other one though, just looking at it there, maybe we need to start looking at Bailey Smith because he's just hits.
I included him last week, so I was happy with that finally.
Yeah.
But the thing was the trade-off. I'm not a huge fan of going to 25 posi players. I'll occasionally go maybe a couple 20, but it's very hard because there might only be like 4 players who get over 25. And like, yes, they're averaging well, they're looking good, but if I was to pick 2, I just like Dacos too much.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Nick should get enough of this, and it's a dry game. Against Essendon in the wet game, he still racked it up.
He still did.
Yeah, in a dry game, it's supposed to be perfect conditions tomorrow night. He should be fine. So
Yeah, we just touched on Bailey Smith, really like, but I just don't want to, over.
No, we don't want to cook the bet.
Yeah, and because speaking of cooking the bet, John and I were literally umming and ahhing about this. We both wanted the Dacos brothers for 25, and what threw me off, I've only bet on Josh Dacos for 25 once this year, and he shat out of 15. So get that out of my head. 9 out of 10, $1.52. Even with Houston, without whatever the heck, he has been looking great. Even when he's on the wing last year, he's still hitting. If he's in the half-back line, he's hitting. Josh Dacos has been looking fantastic, but I just simply can't do it when I've got Dacos, his brother, for 25, and I've got Ned Long for $1.75. So we went conservative and did 20.
Yeah, and well, I'm just saying to the people out there, pick your Dacos this week, I guess. Which one do you prefer? Because
I think they're going to be great. Like, we were so tempted to do both. It was like 8 out of 10 that they've hit both at the same time. So, yeah, very tempting on that one. But we just, had to compromise, and I like Ned Long too much.
Pick Steel Sidebottom at your own risk, I guess. Even for 20, I'd say. I don't think he's paying much for 20, but even for 25. But I feel like Collingwood's got... I keep saying this every week, I feel, but... It's gonna, if they're injury free, it has to be one of these old boys that gets subbed out, because there's a 5-day break till they go to Fremantle next week. There's not much break. It's gonna have to be Pendlebury or Sidebottom if there's no injury, I think.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely something to look out for. Sometimes they just wrap up the old boys.
If the game's in the bag, sorry, I should say as well. On top of that, but if the game's on the line, he's not coming off.
Yeah, he's been in such good form. Anzac medalist. He's been looking great.
Yep.
Goal scorers, Dangerfield. Yeah, I've highlighted he's playing a lot more forward, sort of losing his coming up the ground moments, but $1.16, I just wouldn't include it. Lockie Schultz, first game back. I like him similar to a Jamie Elliott type role. So he's paying pretty good, but I just, again, can't. First game back in a bit. Sean Mannock coming off a couple of misses, but he'll kick behinds. He always has a scoring shot. And Ollie Dempsey, I've highlighted him for weeks, and I've always been just too pussy to include him. But playing on the wing, as a winger, you will naturally have an opportunity to either present in the forward 50 or run down off from a turnover on the other side. Like, you'll have an opportunity. So, and that's what he's had.
Just on, a good point, because just saying that Collingwood play a very high press. When Collingwood, but the thing is, once they get teams kicked through Collingwood's press, which happens multiple times a game, it's usually a wingman streaming down that's just got an uncontested inside 50. And it happens all the time. Other one there, Tim Membry, I'd almost say steer clear of him. There's been a lot of talk this week of him training as a defender. Now, I don't think it will happen, but maybe with Jeremy Howe out, maybe, and they've... Jeremy Howe's rested.
Oh, yeah.
With Jeremy Howe out and Collingwood already got a pretty stacked forward line this week, and just Schultz is back, there's a bit of talk that maybe he pinches in the defense for a bit this week. So
I wonder what he's paying. He's $3 for 15
positives. I wouldn't. I think it's more a shutdown role if he goes down there. Like, I could see him, but like just jumping over the packs, punching the ball out. Like, I don't expect him to be
getting all the cheapies and kicking out.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be playing the seagull role down there.
It's funny how my mind goes straight to there. Ooh, half back or back. Yeah.
Not with Houston and Dacos down there. I don't think he's exactly going to be calling for the ball much. So,
no, that is fair point. Anyway, anyone else you want to speak about overall in this game? I think we've covered most.
Goey, just how many games did Goey played this year? Just for a goal?
I think it was 3, and he's missed all. Oh, you're talking about goal. I was going to say he hasn't hit all year because he's been playing so much up forward. For a goal, he is $1.22.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 too.
Hit.
So,
was the first game a sub or?
First game, he got subbed out against Carlton.
Oh yeah, but he still kicked the goal.
But last couple of weeks, even last week against Essendon, he had multiple chances at it. And he was playing one out in the goal scorer a lot of the game. So he's gonna. I feel like they like him as a forward, and that's probably another reason that Membry might go into the back line to help out a little bit. I'm actually excited. It'd be interesting if that happens. I'll be looking out for that.
Yeah, well, I hope you have your eyes on this game and not the Eagles Melbourne game. So make sure to stay focused.
I'll be watching that, mate. Don't worry.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And for the other game on Saturday night, Optus Stadium, 18th versus 15th, West Coast Melbourne. Now, you'll probably see already before I even introduce, I never bet on the game result. I always bet on the players, but Jono made me do something.
We're throwing the rule book out.
I never bet on the result, but Melbourne were $1.50 to beat West Coast. I know it's at Optus. I know there's no Clayton Oliver, but West Coast are like a basket case. Haven't won a game. They've been like spanked every game this year, and Melbourne are just not that bad. Like, I know they've started out rough. They've won their last two. Gorn's looking great. Petrarca's like found some form. Bowie's having a career best year. I can't see West Coast winning.
Yeah. To me though, if Clayton Oliver's in this game, I think the odds are drastically different. And I know that they went to there last year and West Coast beat the shit out of them. Melbourne just had a stinker of a game. I think West Coast is a lot worse than last year. So yeah.
So we are kind of breaking the rules on this one, and I just couldn't help myself. They're $1.50.
One time only.
Yeah.
One time only.
Yeah, and having done this, I feel like West Coast are going to thump them by 100 points, but it's like, yeah, I'd never do it, but this is the one I just kind of felt something was pulling me towards it. So back to the players, 15 posse bracket, Harley Reid, who stormed home in the last half last week, which was fantastic. Only worries if he plays, once he was on the mid, fantastic. Jeremy McGovern should be an absolute layup for 15. He is only going to injure himself. That is the worry. 15 Langdon to get it up. So he is very cheap, very free. And into the 20 posse bracket, we have Baker and Marek. Baker hasn't missed since playing for West Coast. Look fantastic. And Ryan Marek hasn't missed as soon as he's gone to the backline pig roll kick outs, which is what you want. Delicious. Plays on, gets so many freebies. Ryan Marek, I don't know how the F he's still $1.42.
And Melbourne notoriously terrible kicks of goal.
So boy.
Should get a lot of kick-ins.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the 15 posse bracket. We spoke about Langdon and McGovern. Just like Langdon gets so much of it on the wing, averaging 25 in his last 3 games. So I know he's short as fuck, but it was more just to kind of boost the odds up. Jeremy McGovern, a bunch of kickouts. Harvey Langford. So I really like Langford. Everyone's like, where are the minutes going to go? I think Harvey Langford is very good for 20, and I just couldn't quite do it. So you'll see down here, I've actually included him for 20 posies. There's other options I like. I like Reid, Marek, and Baker. But yeah, I'm bullish on Langford to get more minutes there.
Yeah. The other one there just wouldn't highlight. Like, the reason he's not highlighted, Brody Hoff, out of nowhere last week went into the midfield and played 80%. It was a career high out of nowhere. Now, I have no idea why he's $1.18 to hit 15. That is crazy. He's played 1 game in that midfield. Tim Kelly's back in the team, I believe, as well, just off the top of my head. Let's just leave that one. Stay away. Let's just watch it for a week at least and see what happens. So
yeah, I would much rather go Langford or even Lindsay. I like Lindsay, was tempted to include him. He's 1 miss, 14. Yeah. I'm excluding the injury game. I can't remember. He played 2 minutes and was injured. Great on the wing, and I feel like with Clayton Oliver out, and I think he's going to get more of it. And it's against West Coast. I can't see West Coast winning this.
No, but we'll put him, we'll see what happens when Melbourne gets pumped here. We'll never do it again. So
yeah, we might learn our lesson then. But Harley Reid, who I spoke about, who might be a little bit quiet, when Hawthorn were pumping West Coast, wasn't touching at the forward line, brought him up in the mid. He looks great. Look, whether he's giving away free kicks, flipping people off, doing something stupid, he plays with a bit of an edge, and he's hungry for the footy anyway. So something I do like to see, regardless of those actions. And Windsor was playing a bit on the half back line too, getting a lot of it. And Tom McDonald, he is getting so much of it. A lot of the backline players there for Melbourne are getting it too. So
yeah, I think that's the reason we've probably steered clear to Tommy McDonald. Well, see, we're going heavy. We're betting heavy that Melbourne's going to dominate, but yeah.
Good pickup. Sorry, that's why I've avoided, because I usually am very bullish on a green and green, but I just can't see, West Coast peppering with. As soon as I hope this doesn't come to bite us on the butt, but that's the reasoning why we haven't gone Tom McDonald.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to take over the 20 posse bracket?
Yeah, 20 posse bracket. Like you said before, Baker hasn't missed since he's joined the West Coast. He's definitely already their toughest player. He's showing them all how to play properly. Trent Rivers, he's been hitting really good form lately. Hasn't touched the mid for the last 3 weeks. Now Oliver's out.
Oh yeah.
Mate, let's just wait and see, because he could get chucked back in that mid. We think it's going to be Langford, who's already had it. So we'll just wait and see on that. Salem has been great this year. Like him a lot. Anyone else there for you, Jim?
Well, so Pickett, who missed last week, and I was bullish on. So again, I've said it all the time. I love betting on a player who misses because I think they're going to bounce back. Cozzy Pickett just being so insanely quiet in that first quarter, getting one posse and being bodied by Nathan Broad and wasn't really doing anything to shake it. It wasn't until like he would play up the ground where Nathan Broad wouldn't follow him. It's like, look, yeah, I feel like West Coast aren't going to smother him. I think he's going to do his own thing. Oh, I should have bet on Cozzy Pickett. I do like Cozzy Pickett there, but...
in fairness, this is where I think the Broad and Hoff doesn't happen in the midfield. I think Hoff picks him up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that because I think if West Coast are going to win this game, they need to keep Cozzy goalless. Or not just limit him, because Cozzy's
the spark. Yeah.
He could kick 4 easy. So,
yeah. And... yeah, I do like him, but Ryan Marrick, $1.42 and
free money.
Free. He's getting so many kickouts. Like, I should have just had a quick look. Kickouts for West Coast this year. He's had since round 1, right? So he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Since he's got 26, right? 3 kickouts, 5, 9, 8, 10, 4, 6. He's had 45 posies from kickouts alone. Like, how? He's getting over a quarter of his posies from kickouts alone, and he's a great kick. They look for him. What more can you say? He's getting so much of it back there.
Free money.
Free money. Langford, who we spoke about, who I think has every chance to get it this week with no Clary. 25, not super bullish. Oh, it's actually just Jake Bowie. He was $1.40 last week. I'm so glad we've ridden him for like maybe the last 2-3 weeks. I'm pretty sure we got him here. Or was it here? But yeah, Jake Bowie, fantastic, $1.19. So we got to leave him for now. But I'm not quite ready to take the leap for 25.
One last one just on the 20 that I noticed that we didn't actually highlight. Max Gawn's playing Flynn this week. Max Gawn's in fucking elite form. He could
averaging 25 in his last 3.
Yeah, I could see him easily getting 20. Like, yeah, he could. It's going to be a lot of uncontested marks for Max Gawn.
Yeah, I'm usually good for Max Gawn for 15.
I wouldn't. Usually, yeah, it's hard to go for a ruckman for plus 20.
But you're right. The form he is in has been huge, and against Matty Flynn, who's playing like his 3rd game for the year, I think.
And there's no one at Melbourne that can remotely share the load in that ruck with Gawn. So,
and again, that goes into our theory. We think Max Gawn, Petrarca's back. Like, the team is too good to be losing to West Coast. It's just, and Petrarca, like, look, yeah, he might get 25, play more in the CBAs. He'll have to than playing forward, but I don't have a valid excuse why I didn't highlight him. I don't know. His misses have been more. What do you think, Jono?
Yeah, honestly, I probably would highlight him, just especially with Clary out. He's going to have to play those minutes there. There is that chance, though, that I think even without Track, they can still have midfield. Oh, they're going to need him in there.
The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I do like him. But again, it doesn't trump the bets that we've picked. The players we've picked.
But the only thing for me is Track. Even this is all made up for Track to get 25. He still is he's a guy. He's like a Bond. He doesn't need high possession to impact the game. So,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not like I'm picturing of like a Tom Mitchell or Adam Treloar.
He's not like Nick, where he's just going to kill you by 1,000 little touches. No, he's going to get big kicks, burst through a couple of packs, all that stuff. But yeah. Let's just I would highlight him for sure. Like if you like a Track, but in fairness, if I was going to go anyone for 25, which we haven't, I would go Track. So.
Yeah, I would almost go Marek, but he's been close. I love. He's going to get so many kickouts, many kickouts. Onto the goal scorers. Jamie Cripps we've highlighted. Green and Green. I've highlighted him again every week, but just never been game enough. Just because it's hard to bet on a team who's probably going to be scoring like 40, 50 points for a goal scorer. I just can't do it. But he's been hitting, so I just haven't been able to do it yet. No one else there I really like.
I'd see it clear for Petrarca.
Yeah, really probably get too much mid. Petty. Yeah. Cozzy Pickett too short. Yeah, don't really like the rest.
No value. No.
Good to move on.
Good to go.
Easy. On to the first game of Sunday, Battle of the Bridge, Sydney Swans versus Giants, 14th versus 6th. I still think it was going to be very close. I didn't realize how low Sydney were on the ladder until I just said that. But the picks we've done, Jacob Ware, Justin McInerney for 15, and Connor Iden. Chad Warner for 20, and we have another, I've only done this maybe twice this year, 2-goal scorer, Jesse Hogan, 2+ goals. I think he is great, but we will work our way down in the 15 posse bracket. Himmelberg and Connor Iden, very safe. Himmelberg's miss has been 14. Connor Iden's been 12. They rarely miss. I like them both. Not much more to say. Pretty safe, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right there. The only other, like Riley Bice, if you wanted a little booster, they really trust him down there in that back line now. If you just want like a little touch up, but there's probably not enough value there. That's all I would say. So,
Yeah, and if I'm trying to get like a little booster, I like Iden and Himmelberg just before.
Yeah.
Like Bice, yeah, don't get me wrong, he's been awesome. Yeah, like over 20 in his last 4 and stuff, but just couldn't quite do it, especially when he hasn't played many games.
The other one that we spoke about a little bit, Brody Grundy. So he's first in Briggs. Briggs is horribly out of form right now. Like now, a week ago, you'd probably take that bet, but now with the criticism that Adam Kingsley's called him out and said if he doesn't play well, Briggs will be dropped. So Briggs will reason I'm steering clear of Brody would be like I'd be worried Briggs is just going to respond. So
yeah, and Brody Grundy, I know he can have 26 posies. Well, look at that, 26 posies 1 week to 9 the next. I just want someone who's got a smaller range.
In fairness, that was against the Ruck Killer, so... Yeah.
Oh, was it Witsy? That was... Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, well, we called that one. That was another good one.
So, yeah, but yeah, you're right. Like, it's... but, yeah, I think, like, this is Briggs' last chance, or he's getting dropped, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone... Look, Toby Green has only missed 1 this year, but he's kind of like a... low teens to 15. Like he had a great start to the year, don't get me wrong, but that's those posies
had
there.
A stinker last week, so if you're looking for a response game, you're probably gonna get it. That's all I'd say. So
Sam Taylor though, who has only missed 1 game this year in the back line there. Like it's his intercept mark game. This is almost like not what Tom Stewart like we're kind of wanting to see. Like he's a slightly different role because Tom Stewart is more ball hungry and we usually call for it. Usually he wasn't the last couple of weeks, but Sam Taylor's intercept mark game is fantastic. And because Gold Coast, the Tsunami, they love to switch the play. He might be a mark and kick unintentionally in the chain. Usually it's going to Ash, Himmelberg, Iden, but yeah, Sam Taylor's getting a lot of it.
Now, the other thing I would say is just look at Sydney's forwards, guys. Like there's no one down there. They're not even there.
Oh, he's not there. Yeah, who's Hayden McLean?
Hayden McLean, he'll have to ruck for a little bit too. Like it's made for Sam Taylor to just feast in that back. So really like him.
And someone who I usually wouldn't go for. I don't usually like to go for like a key backman or something, but
because you're really counting on Sam Taylor to win the ball himself, versus like he's not going to just seagull around.
He's not going to take kick-outs when there's Whitfield there.
No. Well, yeah, like that's all I'm saying. But I really do like. I wouldn't like. We haven't put him in, but I feel like Sam Taylor is he's gonna have a lot of marks this week. So.
Sometimes when we talk about it, it kind of makes me like, I should have included them because I do like it. But
no, we put our research in for.
Yeah, exactly. We go through this together, and if we move on to the 20, you'll see why. Because Chad Warner, $1.45, 9 out of 10, green and green. His 1 miss was that game where he was sick. I think it said tax sub, but he was actually sick under the weather against North. A lot of Sydney players had a kind of poo-poo game for that one. That was the one where they comfortably won. He just missed because he was sick and only played like half the game. So,
that's crazy odds.
Oh, that is crazy odds for Warner. And we were tempted to include him for a goal. He's also $1.40 for a goal. And every game he's missed, he's had a scoring shot. So he's kicked behinds in those. So Chad Warner is paying great money right now. And he has had a slow start to the year. But last week against Gold Coast, even though they lost, he looked pretty good.
The only one I'd say, let's just fingers crossed, Bedford goes to Heaney, not him. So
I don't think he'll go to Warner. I reckon he's for sure a Heaney pick.
Yeah, I would say that's where I think so too. That's the only thing I can see really impacted. But also, Bedford hasn't been tagging very well lately, is all I'd say. So
yeah, a lot of the players are still hitting 25, even with a tag. Like I think the Freo boys actually missed tonight, but with like sort of Windhager and stuff. But usually I think I still like Chad Warner for 20.
Yep.
Heaney, I highlighted, we just got him last week, had a great start to the half and then faded off. Was on 19 at one stage. There was a bit of a whatever was going on. He got 20. That was great. Finn Callahan, too short for my liking. I've highlighted him, but like he's only missed 1 by 1 posie. So yeah, if you kind of want to just
moved out to the wing late last week, has been playing like getting the touches, but he hasn't been playing great.
So... No, I think so too. Like I was he started the year on fire. It was great, but then I'm like he's not. No, he's not it.
So strong and so big, but he's just not. He's just a bit off. He's kind of like LDU off at the moment, just like fumbling a bit, stuff like that. So, and he's been called out by the coach as well, so might respond. But for the 20+ bracket, it's just not enough value.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to pick him when you got Chad Warner sitting there, just missing from a sick game. So.
Yeah.
We've highlighted Tom Green. Tom Green, fantastic. Finally paying actually something decent for the 25. Tom Green's always in like orange, sub $1.20. So I really like him, but we'll get to it. And Lockie Ash in insane form. He was just in the 20 posi bracket last year. He has shot over that and put himself even shorter than what he was for the 20 posi bracket into the 25. So he has had a huge rise of form. So yeah, I don't have any reason not to back him at this point in time, but I just know from personal experience, I've usually bet on him for 20. It's hard for me to just go that next step.
Yeah, exactly right. I think like Ash has been great. He's not he's not a Whitfield good, but he's pretty fucking good at the moment.
And he's hungry. He wants the footy. He wants to switch. He wants to run.
Yeah. Whitfield, you probably noticed we haven't highlighted Whitfield. Last 2 times they've played Sydney. Now, last time they played, he still got a lot of touches, but James Jordan went to him both times last year, and the first time he shut him out.
Yeah.
So if Dean Cox is going to look up last year's books, I feel like he'll go back to the well again. I feel like he's going to go the Jimmy Jordan tag on Whitfield. Might go to Tom Green. I think it's more likely Whitfield because it worked in the first time they played last year. So
and GWS get a lot of their footy from half back. When you think about Lockie Whitfield, Ash,
it's the tsunami. Yeah,
that's how they start it, right? So they want to stop it at the source. They're going to go. Well, again, this is all speculation, but we think he's going to go to Whitfield and really nullify him. And GWS have a problem of not having that many inside 50s. They fuck around with it too much. So you'd rather stop them early than what's going on in the ground.
If Jordan doesn't tag Green or Whitfield, then I don't think he's long to be in the Sydney team. I think he'll get dropped in the next couple of weeks. So
usually I don't mind Jordan if he's hitting posies at least, but he missed last week and his tag, I don't know.
When he doesn't have the tag though, he's not around the ball enough. Like,
yeah,
because the tag brings him into the play almost, it seems. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Chad Warner, who I've highlighted for a goal, who's had a scoring shot in the misses, so I really like him. But I think Jesse Hogan for 2 trumps that because he is 10 out of 10. He had a stinker against the Doggies, well, so did a lot of the Giants players. Still kicked 2. I think he is great. $1.30. 2. You're asking for nothing for the Coleman there.
Yeah, and also don't double up your goal. If you've got Jesse for 2, think of that as almost like having 2 goal kicking bets. Just no point doing Jesse for 2 and another goal kicker is all I'd say. So,
I would obviously rather posies first, but when someone's 10 out of 10 and they're looking great.
Oh, Jesse for 2 I like that. I like him a lot. I wouldn't go Jesse for 2 and then chuck Chad in for 1 again. I think that's too risky. So,
I mean, me personally, I would almost go to the 3 goals. Sydney aren't looking great, but Hogan has had 2 games in a row where he's hit 2. And for me, I think they were sort of down games. So I think he's due for a comeback or bounce back, but I think 2 is safe.
Yeah. So
anyone else?
Nah, I think that's all good.
No, easy. All right, the second last game, which is the Hawthorn-Richmond game, 3:20 MCG. You'll notice I haven't actually placed the bet because I have no more same game things. And again, you should be doing the same thing. So depending on how others go or whether you get your same game, you'll get a new one on Saturday and Sunday, whatever the heck. But this is the picks that we've done. So
also it gives you guys a good chance for you never know. There could be an out announced tomorrow and your bet's ruined. So
another good point. And as someone who looks into to betting, a couple days out, they don't always list all the players too. So when they throw in someone you forgot about or whatever, it's I would much rather just wait another day. But if I had to bet right now, this is it. Oh, actually, good time to mention if this game or the Brisbane game changes and stuff, I will do a post on the YouTube channel. So look out if something pops up there. But the 15 posi bracket, James Sicily, I feel like even against Richmond, one of the bottom teams, I think that. Oops, shit. I forgot to actually highlight him, but I bet on him. I like Sicily for 15 there.
Yeah, bank it.
Yep. Straight to the. Oh, actually, we've gone Nank. So again, there wasn't that much to pick from. Jono and I were kind of getting stuck on this one.
This is the toughest toughest game of the week.
There's not many, and the ones that are there, it doesn't feel safe. Yes, Nank missed against Gold Coast, which is understandable. I forget that miss, but he's 8 out of 10, $1.62 coming up against Lloyd Meek. I think Nank has every chance, but something just doesn't feel I don't know. I don't have the certainty on.
I like Nank at the MCG. Like, yeah, I do like him, but yeah, it's not. In fairness, this game it was a tough one. They're not offering great odds on anyone really.
No,
So.
I think it might be the fact that I think Hawthorn are just going to pump them. But 20 posi bracket, like we'll talk. Like Dow, I like too short. Harry Morrison, yeah, sure, but $1.20. Yeah,
doesn't excite me.
Jarman Impey is probably going to take over. Carl Amon, he's out, and Jack Scrimshaw. Like, I don't really like betting on that.
We should say he could take over. We don't know though. So
no, and how much is the ball going to come out in Hawthorn's backline there? Luke Traynor I actually do like. He's only had the one miss this year. Great rookie, looking good. Pretty strong in Richmond's backline, so I do like him. I could go him, but I've just gone play, I don't know, a bit more mature bodies for this bet.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
20 posi bracket, we've only highlighted the two. I mean, I could highlight Hopper, but he's just too short. But Warple, I think, will feast, especially because Cam McKenzie's out.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone might come in or have a different role? Or...
Well, sorry, yeah, back with you now. Cam McKenzie's out. We already knew Connor Nash was out. Hustwaite got 24 with only 30% CBAs. Now, Cam McKenzie was the third highest CBA midfielder last week. That's gone. So we think it logically will be Hustwaite. Now, that's where the reason we haven't put Hustwaite in is Warple's a big boy, Newcomb's a big boy, Hustwaite's pretty big as well. I don't know if they'll roll with that mix the whole game. It's a bit, I don't know.
And I just can't do it. If he's hit 20 once in his career, like I know he's been subbed, right. I know he looked good. It's like, that is just a straight up no. And it's happened. Yeah.
You're 100% right. I can't believe how short he is for 15.
Yeah, Jono and I were kind of like, oh, what's he going to be paying? He might be good, but far out. Like for 15,
I was like,
$1.04.
Yeah, like let's chuck him for 15. It's already gone. You're like, well, fuck's sake.
I know, and it's happened before where you bet on a rookie or Fino Solomon or someone. I don't know, just give him time to grow and stuff.
Yeah, the other one, guys, if you're looking for some good value, would be Josh Ward. Potentially could reap the benefits of this Cam McKenzie out. But again, we're not that bullish on him. So.
Yeah, exactly. Super someone who I think could happen, but I couldn't even really recommend. It's just to watch this space, really.
Yeah. Sorry, the other one would be Nick Vlauston.
Yeah.
Being great form.
Yeah, so I really like Jaden Short. He takes a lot of kick-ins, looks for it. Vlauston has the same role. Obviously had a great patch of form. Like I could highlight Nick Vlauston. But I've gone Short just because I've bet on him so many times.
And for us, we're like, we don't want to have both. So,
yeah. So if you're going Short for 20, we've gone Warple for 20. There you go. We haven't even done any 25. But we've got Jai Newcomb. He often has a quiet game and then will bounce back the following 2 weeks. So, whether you want to play, where's this, guess the pattern. So he could be following that same trend.
The only thing I'd say about Newcomb is like last week, in a game they were always going to win, he didn't give a shit. Like he knew they were going to do it. Now this week against Richmond, probably going to he might just go, well, I don't have to wreck my body this week to win.
Yeah, that is a great pickup. He's getting 20 against West Coast, and the
other thing though, the other way would be maybe he's like, well, it's only really me and Warple. I've got to do some heavy lifting here. But
either way, the answer to that is it's like I'm just not confident in an outcome. Yeah, so whatever that is, I'm just not really seeing it. There's a Tim Serrano, he's had a couple of misses when he was tagged. He's had big, I don't know, just not feeling any of these players.
I don't like Finn McGuinness is back. I doubt they'll do it. Maybe they do the Finn McGuinness because they're short of a third midfielder. Maybe they just put Finn McGuinness as a tagger in there on Taranto. But I don't know.
Yeah, and Hopper's in some great form too. So I mean, he had a patch where he hit 4 in a row for 25. Look, Hawks mid is not that like super dominant or strong. It's not like a Carlton mid or Lions mid, but they're every chance. But it's I just don't have enough to back it up, even with a highlight, or I wouldn't bet on it myself at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right. So
goal scorers, look at this Bupkis. So just nothing. I like Tom Lynch, $1.16, 9 out of 10.
I was only going to say Tom Lynch, but is it really worth it?
No, not at this point.
And he's going to have Battle and Barras like.
Yeah. What's Barras for a goal?
Yeah, exactly right. Like if you really want to, like maybe fucking Barras. So I don't think we'll ever see that ever happen again. That was purely to go after Oscar McDonald. So
yep, no, I think so too. Maurice Rioli, he had a very quiet game, very very quiet. Can't remember who he versed last week, but I remember he was on the bench for a lot of it too.
He's known to do that too. So.
Yeah, just go absolutely missing. So otherwise he was kicking a goal in every game this year, and he personally looked in good form. So, but if he's going to get like what I think it was like 4 posies, 50% game time or something, I don't know, just not looking great.
Yeah.
So this one might be another post, but for the meantime, this is all we can really provide for this bet. Unfortunately, not much value to pick from there. Anyone else you want to touch on before we move?
Nah, it's a tough one. Tough game.
No, we'll keep you guys updated on the Sunday. And for the last game of the round, what do you call it? Q Clash. I'll be at this one at the Gabba. It's a night game because we have the public holiday on the Sunday. Let's go. Again, done the bets here, but not actually deposited or paid for it. Finalized it because that will see depending on the outcome of the other games. You'll notice we have a lot in the 20 posi bracket, but before we move, we've highlighted Jared Berry or Darcy Wilmot, who are just very short. We've gone 2 orange value straight up. And look at this fucking garbage we're offered within the 20, all in the orange. So, I mean, like Josh Dunkley, who's $1.22, take it. And Johnny Noble, we got Dane Zorko. Anyway, we'll go through it all, and then Noah Anderson. So back to the 15. Wilmot and Berry, I feel like are safe as houses. So there's no one else I can really sort of deviate from there at the moment.
Yeah, for the 15s, like Ainsworth has been pretty, but he's only just hitting 15. So
and he's someone who in just that are kind of fading out. He's got 9, and so because he plays high half forward, he can easily have stinkers. Yes, he's had a great start to the year. I'm pretty sure that 15 he got subbed off. So just someone I'm just not confident in at all. Zach Bailey, too yo-yo-ish for my mind. Jasper Fletcher's looked great in the half back line. Will Powell, he's just hitting, and I think he plays 2 lockdown. And
he'll. There's too many forward pockets.
Probably going to go on Cameron and maybe keep him goalless for another.
Him and Bodie Yuland are going to play shutdown. Think. Joel Jeffrey, we like, I guess.
I like him. He is a budget Johnny Noble in the sense that like he is hungry for the ball, wants kick outs, looks to receive. As soon as I've called him out though, he's had 2 misses. So just still 8 out of 10. I like him, but just I think I'm picking safer options at this point in time.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely right.
Yeah, John, I mentioned Bodie Yuland playing more of a shutdown. He does hit. He's great. Damien Hardwick likes him. Reliable, strong player and stuff. But just I would like him a little bit more hungry for the ball. So he's kind of doing not the Sam Taylor sort of intercept mark, but he's winning it himself. He's not the one who's hungry and begging the ruckman for a cheeky handball. So yeah, I prefer someone who's hungry. So if we move on, 2 of those players that we've actually included who are that hungry are Zorko and Noble, both off half back, who love the footy, love kickouts. And you know me, I've been very bullish on Zorko for 25. We've just lowered our expectation. Even though we had a great game last week, let's just take the $1.17 and just take that.
Just be happy.
Yeah, just be happy with that. I feel like that's fine. He's $1.68 for 25, but we got him last week. We finally hit. Now let's just take a break. We don't have to keep backing him. So 20 is fine.
Yeah, and it potentially is the last time we take this bet.
Kitty Coleman. So that's a big watch this space. So we'll see.
And Tom Duday potentially on the cards as well. So I think
he had a game in the 2s or something a week or 2 in a row now. So he will be ready to return.
Yeah, so I think it might be the last one. So let's ride it.
Yeah, any of the midfielders or
the only one I went to comment, I just noticed it then actually. Josh Dunkley's CBAs were his lowest, 50%. Did you see anything when you read the game?
No. Wait, so was this? Oh, this was the one I didn't go to. This was the Saints one last week.
Yeah,
this was the one in Marvel. I got all the ones at the Gabba, and I didn't notice. And I know Will Ashcroft bounced back and had a huge one, so I'm not sure if his CBAs went up.
No, they both split at 50-50.
Who got the increase?
Cam saw a bit of an increase. Maybe they just wanted to give Cam Rayner a bit more time in there, a bit of training kind of thing. He got up to 25, but it was Neil went at 94%, which was crazy.
What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was Neil's highest for the year by far. They kind of walked that game in the park. Maybe they just thought, we can we don't need him in there.
Even if Dunkley is having a low CBA, and I like him for 20, 10 out of 10. I think he's great. Whether he sort of has a body on Anderson, maybe, and we've actually included Anderson too, but I like him for 20, especially at that value. McCluggage, huge form, but I'll be honest, out of all the midfielders for Brisbane, I personally thought he was the one who was going to regress, especially with Will Ashcroft taking a step forward, Levi Ashcroft coming through. I know he's kind of playing more wing around the ball. McCluggage is looking great, so I'm just surprisingly not that bullish on McCluggage. I love him as a player. I think he's great, but just not a constant 20-pluser.
The other one, Dan Rioli, steer clear, we think. Just like, so last week he was on, I think he was on 0 touches at quarter time, and then he got a spray and he turned it on. We don't like it when a guy needs to get his head yelled at to get going. So
yeah, I think he got like he got a cheapie or something before quarter time from a kick out, but it was like John Noble's coming to take the kick out, and Rioli's like, nah, I'll take this. And I'm like, if that's how you got to get your first posse on the board, like.
In fairness, after that, he looked great. So...
After half time, though, he was still shit until halfway. But yeah, you're right. I think he then really stepped up, and like you can't rely on.
Yeah, but big reason they probably got back into the game was him. But yeah, interesting one. One other one would be is no value, unfortunately. But Matt Rao for 20, I think he had probably his worst game we've seen for a while. I think he bounces back. So yeah.
I think he bounces back. I've just seen a little bit too much this year of he can just go back into his shell. He's a beast. He's an absolute ball magnet. Even when they win, he's not getting much of the footy. So I would never go him for 25. That's all I'd say. So yeah. I don't know. Just too short for me. Sam Flanders, you're probably like, well, I haven't included him. He's 9 out of 10.
Nah.
Playing way too much in the forward line. He just hit 21. I feel like he's every chance of missing. 13.
Sorry, I'm cut you off.
No, he's fine. Go. No, you go. I got nothing else. It's just too much fun.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And also, when Bailey Humphries is playing really well, then Hardwick opts for Humphries as the go-to guy. Like Humphries minutes go up. So that's all I'd say. Like I feel like they want Humphries to be their new Dustin Martin. Like last week, they shared like his CBA minutes are just nowhere near what we're used to. Unfortunately, it's just like killed him.
Yeah, so. And I think Damien Hardwick is happy with where everyone's at right now, who's currently in the mid. Like Took Miller's still having a great year. Raul, Anderson, arguably have shortened their Brownlow odds and looking great. I think Raul is literally second in the Brownlow.
Yeah, we would have taken a hit last week, that's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on to the 25, like Noah Anderson, great. He hit a 21 last week, copying the James Jordan tag. We spoke about Jordan maybe not doing that much of a huge role. So yes, Noah Anderson did miss for that, but I think he bounces back. Lions never tag. Well, they tagged years ago. They used Berry. Dunkley does like a body width tag, but I feel like that's not going to stop Anderson.
No, they're not going to tag. Just like... Fun, I just noticed we've kind of got the old ruck killer and Oscar McInerney and the new ruck killer and Jared Wicks. And like looking at their like form, they're like one of them has gone above 15 all year.
Oh
like,
wow. So
they just fucking beat the shit out of their opponent, and that's it.
Here you go. And where is Witz? Is he even on here? Oh, Jared Witz. Oh, he got 18 last week.
That's what I mean. Like that, but that's it. That's the one time one of them's gone above 15 for the year.
Oh,
so we expect neither of them to touch the ball because they'll just.
So 0 posies coming up for both. They're going to nullify each other.
Don't bet on the rucks this week, guys.
Nah, there's some good ruckmen I like to bet on. But yeah, unfortunately, not much value. Johnny Noble, actually, I've just noticed here too, he's only missed 25 once out of his last 5 games. I like Johnny Noble. I'm highlighting him. I'm bullish on Noble. I've been so bullish on him. He is similar to Jake Bowie.
He's just not a good kick. That's the only thing. So
Johnny doesn't like him because he used to play for Collingwood. But I really like Johnny Noble. He is hungry, and that's what I love to see. I don't care. It's like a Ned Long or whatever they do, like a Clayton Oliver, where his handballs are garbage at the moment. They just want the footy.
If he goes like 25 again this week, then I think we won't get him again for 20. That's like our last week getting him for 20.
Oh yeah, you're right. So he has gone. We were getting him for over $1.30. I think he started $1.40. He's under $1.20. I reckon game day before the bounce, he's going to be $1.22, $1.24. So again, haven't placed the bet. I feel like the odds will change, but yeah, bullish on Noble.
Yeah, nice.
Finally, cap it off, goal scorers. Charlie Cameron, he is not, I repeat, he is not missing 4 weeks in a row. Lock of the week.
No, we haven't bet it. We haven't
bet it. I'm just, there's like no way. He's down in form. I keep saying it, I just feel like he's going to hit. But yeah, whether Will Power locks him down, it'll be a tight game.
He will kick I feel like he will kick a goal. He's going to have to get, like, we say that he's so bad. He had 4 shots at goal last week, I think. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I did say if he was going to go over $1.20, I'd bet on him. He's over $1.20 now, and like Charlie
If
Cameron.
if you're going to pick a goal kicker, I would pick him.
Yeah, I think all signs point to him, but again, I just can't at the moment when I've gone a couple of short.
It almost feels like though every week that he doesn't get a goal, it's like it's just building. This pressure is building. So, and Bodie Hewland and Will Powell are going to give him a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, and Brisbane as a whole haven't really. I know they won comfortably last year. I was going to say haven't really fired a shot. They're either just scraping by getting wins, or they lost embarrassingly against Collingwood by like 50 points at home. Beat St Kilda by a good margin, but apart from that, they haven't really looked like the dominating top 4 side. So whether we finally have a game where their forwards pop off, I know they haven't.
Sorry, just one more goal kicker there, Jed Walter.
Yeah, he's looked good. Yeah, I don't have any argument against him.
Missed once this year, so
yeah,
I wouldn't do it. But
I would highlight, but yeah, especially when you got like Harris Andrews, probably he'll be on Ben King.
And Payne's back as well.
Payne will probably be on Walter actually. Ben Long might be a Leicester or Stars isn't playing again, is he?
Ben Long's the best rated forward in football.
I know, he's popping off. Another forward who is not here, Logan Morris isn't out, so someone I like, but I couldn't bet on Hipwood, and I don't know, the rest are all small forwards, so Rayner's coming off a miss, he takes good pack marks. Yeah, I don't know. These are all kind of guesses and stuff. I'd rather just back better form.
No Coleman. No, what's his name? No Kyle Lohman. It's
true.
It's Cameron, Archie, and Zach Bailey, so
yeah. And yeah, if we had to go that. Anyone else that you want to pick up from this game?
No, I think this will be the match of the round. So yeah.
No, too easy.
Oh, I'd say Melbourne fucking.
Yeah. All eyes are going to be on that one.
Melbourne West Coast.
We'll do our little summary here. But yeah, surprisingly, I think that's probably one of the safer bets that I feel like we have there.
Well, until quarter time when West Coast are up by 5 goals, and I'll be messaging, why did we fucking...
Yeah, why did we do it? But no, thanks, guys. We'll have a good round 8, hopefully, because round 7 was a bit rough. We only capped off with the win. We only just got bailed out by the Sunday game, so we've already got a win on the board. 1 out of 2 start the round.
In fairness, tonight it was an injury that cost us.
It was an injury that cost us, and fucking Bolton.
Might as well have been injured. So,
so yeah, we got our sports bet one refunded, but unfortunately, Ladbrokes and Neds don't do it unless all the others hit, and Bolton missed. So, is what it is. But we got a bonus bet though for that one, so hopefully flip that tomorrow. If there's any further updates,
Yeah, well, it's good. We're already on the winners list for this week, so we're playing with bonus. We're in the bonus already. Let's just get rolling. So, I think it would be good. Let us know your bets, or let us know your picks, or anything that we missed, guys. Let us know if there's someone that you're bullish on, or someone we should steer clear of. We'd love to know. So.
Yeah, always love the pointers, love the feedback. The comment section was popping off last week. It was like 45, 50 comments, and I'll get around, respond to them. When I'm watching footy, I usually have my phone in hand, or I'm watching fan footy, and I'll respond at like halftime or quarter time, whatever the heck. So, love watching the games, and you guys have got a keen eye for it too. So, as Jono was saying, if there's any picks, anything we've missed, please feel free to mention it.
Make sure you gamble responsibly, guys.
Yeah, too easy. And until then, we'll chat to you guys next week. All right, peace.
See ya.